Welcome to Virtual Mimics and Gimmicks, where a bunch of idiots pretend to know what they're doing and in the process torment me with their vicious mockery. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and player punching bag Anastasia. Playing Troy, our half-wood elf ranger with a taste for bear blood, is Sean. As Magnus, our dark and brooding tiefling rogue, is Clint. We've got Ryan playing Theron, our furbolg cleric who prefers liquid courage, and Tatiana playing as Poofers, our wily tabaxi barbarian. Finally, we have Amanda playing Eravir, our sexy high elf sorcerer with hair and heart of gold. And we are going to jump straight into the recap once I get my windows arranged, and let's get going. Last time on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z. Let's get this recap over with before I lose my train of thought. Our heroes found themselves in a tricky situation. They were tasked with delivering the ambassador Giovanni to the Ken court of the Ken King on a newly discovered Kenku island. They traveled across the sea, then boarded the Kenku Express ran by Click-Clack the Kenku conductor. Everything was going smoothly until the party got drunk and later found Giovanni murdered, or, if you'll excuse my very forced pun, murdered. Thus begun the mystery of the murder on the Kenku Express. Our heroes, aided by Lock Kid Detective, proceeded to train track and investigate the collection of suspects and their locomotives. There was Click-Clack the Conductor, Union President Cuckoo, and the Trans Coup crew, the Caw, or Crow Agent Watch, Human, the cardboard cutout, Lock, the party, and the victim himself. The investigation went as you would expect when dealing with the Sultry Six. After a series of increasingly unhelpful break-ins, inspections, and interrogations, our heroes were left without a clue as to who the culprit was. Nonetheless, they accused the Caw and were correct. The Caw had staged Giovanni's murder with his permission because they were dreading the impending influence of violent outsiders, and because Giovanni was afraid of birds. Let's find out what happens now on Kenku Island on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was gross.
That was a good one.
Boo.
That was impressive. Against my better judgment, I think inspiration for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, valid.
That's your second inspiration you have, and I'm really hoping you don't use it against us.
Well, to be honest, I forgot I even had one. So
And we'll probably forget this one. So yeah, have it.
here, look. I'll write it down.
No,
No,
don't do that.
Inspiration.
No.
It's done.
It's canonized.
Yeah. You guys are currently on the Kenku Island, enjoying a bit of time off. Now, you had a few lovely days in this tropical paradise, and while your boarding rooms weren't particularly exceptional, is it not playing?
It is.
Oh, it's playing.
Mm-hmm. I'm dancing already.
Sorry for me. We're good.
Okay, so, while your rooms weren't anything exceptional, the city itself was very beautiful. Despite being flightless, these birds clearly have a love for the skies, as the city is full of skyscrapers, high balconies and walkways, and the like. If you were afraid of heights, this is not the vacation spot for you. Everywhere you went throughout the city, there was song and magic. Even for the most mundane of tasks, such as cleaning, the Kenkus would sing and use magic to complete whatever they were doing. It's a very fun and relaxing few days, but unless anyone has any specific tasks they want to take, we'll go ahead and skip straight to the end of your little vacation.
Well, I think that Eravir and I were interested in getting some of the local fruit and other local tradables.
Pretty wine.
How about one last drink before we go? What do you think? Whatever
that
they were
drink that had us pass out was really good.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Whatever
We
they
don't
were
have to
slinging on
guard
that,
anybody,
on the
so
coochie.
clearly we're fine.
Yeah. Right? That's what I'm saying. Now it's a good time.
Barry and I got to go booze.
Okay, that is correct. You and Biren went on a little bit of a shopping spree throughout the city and kind of got like a sample pack of things throughout the city, some fruit, some wine, some pies, and other sorts of delicacies found here. Noting that the tropical fruits on this island are pretty much only found here. So like the kind of like I don't really know how the names for these fruits or anything, but like these are not things you would have tasted before or seen before, and they're probably something that like people back home are going to be very interested in. So that's exciting. You're kind of like the first to try these new things, and you take a pretty decent sized sample pack home.
Barry, I wonder how much we could sell these dried fruits for.
You know what I want to do with them is actually turn them into a pie. Not very original, I know, but I'm always trying to find something new.
Shocking.
Yeah, very shocking.
Dried fruit pie, huh?
Well, I could turn it into like I'm not very good at making pies. I don't even know the terminology. But I'll do something with them.
You'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
Okay. So on your last day, or does anyone want to go for a bar crawl or anything? Just,
Should we?
I don't know. Do you want to?
I recommended that. I said, let's go get some last drinks before we leave this happy Coup Island.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
Pretty cool.
Are they all like tiki bars?
Yeah, they are actually.
Yes. Guys, let's go to the tiki bars.
Okay,
They're like a row of bars.
They all look like Margaritaville.
People call it the Carl, like the crawl, like the call, like a car roll.
I rescind your inspiration.
No, yeah. They can't all be winners. So you go to this row of what you would expect to be like a number of diverse bars. You know, like when there's like an alcohol alley here, there's like an EDM bar and like a Western bar and all that stuff. They're all just tiki bars. Like that's the only thing they do here. It's a row of about 10, and it's kind of like a local thing to see if you can get to the end.
We're
Judging
definitely
how we
gonna
did on
try
the-
that.
All right.
Judging how well we did on the Kuchu.
Why do I feel like we're
We'll
all about to
see.
do Constitution saving throws?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So you get to the first bar. One of the more packed ones. A lot of locals seem to be attempting this challenge kind of frequently. It's like a thing to go do. So the first bar is the most packed, as you know, everyone starts there. And anyone who's participating, can I get a Constitution saving throw?
13.
Are they seeing our rolls by chance?
Not showing up. There we go.
Mod 20, baby.
So we're gonna do a strike system, I think.
3 strikes are out.
Yeah, 3 strikes are out. I think everyone except Troy and Erebir gets a strike here. The alcohol is pretty strong. So, Poofers and Magnus and Viren, ironically, are all kind of starting to feel it a little bit. And we make our way to the second bar. And here they're doing like those like fire shots or whatever. Like lightning's on fire. I'm not very well versed.
Yes, our DM is an avid drinker.
Yeah.
She's been to a good amount of bars
She
with
has,
us.
she has.
You know,
she has.
they light stuff on fire.
They do that
Which is dangerous
at the
for-
tiki bar at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Well, considering they're
Not anymore, they don't.
for a civilization of feathered beings, this is a pretty dangerous bar to be in.
It's magic fire. They don't burn themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Should have known.
Yeah. So another con save from everyone. Feel like I should put on
Oh,
more
poor
tests.
poofers.
Oh, Poofers. I don't know. Should I give you 2 strikes for that?
No.
Back-to-back 10s.
This hit a lot harder.
Yes. Everyone except Biren gets another strike, as these very strong fruit-based alcoholic beverages are already kind of kicking your ass, and the locals are watching you guys struggle already and like laughing at you, but like in good humor. You know.
Guys, do you feel anything? I don't feel nothing yet, you know?
I don't feel my teeth. Is what I don't feel.
You guys feel teeth? I don't think I have teeth.
You're
Look at all
so
the pretty little
furry.
birds.
Yeah, so 2 strikes is like pretty shit faced, and 3 strikes is like
Pretty
you're
bird.
passing out. So, all right, to the third bar. I can't even describe like Ryan. Why don't you describe what they're serving? Because you're very well versed.
You're an alcoholic.
Yes.
Yeah, they are serving like those little tiki voodoo heads, and there's like something glowing and stuff shooting out of it. It looks irresistible.
Complicated.
All right, I'm gonna clear it so we can know which ones are which, and let's see the rules again. Poofers!
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
god!
That's 3 strikes I'm out.
Okay, Magnus,
Yes.
you feeling this one? It sat with you well. Poofers, are you the only one at 3 strikes?
The skull.
Yeah, I did not do very well.
Poofers, you take this tiki drink in your hand and like deep breath, bring it back and chug it, and then just like with your hands still holding it, like lean back and pass out. Just like fall back. Solid.
You guys are gonna have to carry me
Oh.
around.
Very
Okay, well, she's out.
grabber.
All right, and I pick up Poofers under my arm and I carry her like a football.
She's got like rigor mortis going on where she still has the cup. She's like stuck like that in a sitting position. Alright, what are they serving at the 4th bar?
They are.
Fishbowl drinks. They're blue with lots of umbrellas.
Okay. But they're like little ones, so like single serving. Maybe.
No.
It's like they're purple.
No,
they're
or do you
group
want a
drink.
No.
Yeah,
Fish bowls
they've
for
got, like,
everyone.
they got like 20 straws coming out of them.
I
And
think
they just
Magnus.
fucked up Magnus.
I think Magnus is done.
Oh, Magnus done got.
Magnus, how do you go out?
The
Describe
punch
it.
bowl. So I'm flexing pretty hard. I'm
Adios.
bragging pretty hard about just crushing that last bar, thinking I hit my second win. And so I pound this fishbowl, and you see me go to the bathroom, and then you don't see me return.
Airbeer, was that your 3rd strike?
Yes.
Alright, how do you go?
I just, guys, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a.
Alright,
Down on the bar.
I think Troy's only at 1 strike, or is he at 2?
2.
And Baron is also at 2, I believe. How are you guys handling your incapacitated party members?
Which one are you gonna carry?
Man. Well, why don't you go find Magnus? I'll take Poofers off your hands.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get Aravir with one arm over my shoulder.
As I go to the bathroom, I stumble over one of the smaller birds, and I trip. Oh, sorry, pretty bird. Do you need a cracker?
He looks at you and like his ruffles get all feathered, and he's like,
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. And I go to find Magnus in the bathroom. To which
Magnus,
I would assume he's probably asleep on the toilet.
I'm laying like, it's like one of the little swinging doors to get in the bathroom. The door's just closed on me, and I'm laying in the middle of it.
All right,
Alright.
Magnus, come on. And I throw him over my shoulder.
okay, on to the 5th bar. Let's get a con save from our last 2. Then there were 2.
How many bars are there?
10.
Oh,
You guys rolled real shitty though.
that I haven't rolled below an 11 this entire time.
Oh, Troy is the winner
Dang.
so far.
Oh no.
Viren, how do you
Can't
go?
drag us off.
I pass out. I'm getting up, and I fall over on one of those round tables and flip the whole table.
Okay. There's a big clatter and all of the birds like you know the sound they make.
There's just feathers like slowly floating down afterwards.
Yeah. And then they all like look at you and like cheer and take a shot. Troy, are you leaving them here or what are you gonna do with 4 people?
I am going to stack them from biggest to smallest,
Like Jenga.
like crisscross style with Aaron on the bottom
Did-
and Poofers on the top,
Did
And then-
Peppy not join us?
Hell no.
and then I'm gonna pull a tablecloth and drape it over you all, and put a little note that's extremely sloppily written, but I think it looks pretty good. It says, "They're okay." They're just sleeping, and I'm gonna go on.
All right.
Save yourself.
This is the 6th bar, right?
Yes, that's.
What are they serving here?
These are gonna be half coconuts. They're I don't know. They're decent sized, but they're not the Adios fish bowls that we just had.
All right, let's see it. Wow.
Oh,
He's up.
oh
Go,
my God.
He's
Go.
going. This
Come
one
on.
doesn't even phase you.
Yes. Can I take away a strike?
No.
Oh.
All right. Then on to the 7th. What's going on here?
Gosh. This one is gonna be a line. It's like a shot board. And you have to do it with like a few other people at the same time, like a shot ski. And they're all like tropical named, like, like Sex on the Beach and Sandy Bits and stuff like that.
Okay, several of the
See what
birds
he
in the
has
bar
on
join
his
you.
mind.
Aw.
There he goes.
Oh.
And it is this line of shots that
Oh no.
is the final straw for our mighty hero. How
Beer
do
before
you-
liquor.
How do you go out?
So I take the shot and I put my arm up like I'm gonna make it, and then I just fall over backwards.
All right.
And that's it.
And that is the end of the bar crawl.
We did not make it very far.
You did not. That was pathetic.
What? I made it to bar 7.
Yeah, but you're the only one.
Yeah, the collective was not a great effort.
If it was, to be fair, if it was not a Kenku bar, the DC would have been 10 and not 15. So.
Interesting.
Yes, the drinks are very strong here. So in the morning, Troy, you wake up outside this bar, propped up against the wall, with a little cardboard sign next to you that says "for sale."
What does the price say?
Inquire within. The rest of you wake up stacked. Poofer, I don't know who wakes up first. I'm gonna let you handle this. You're stacked inside the bar though, with the blanket over you. So
Pooper wakes up first because she was first out, so I feel like she'd wake up first. And there's like a blanket over my face, and I toss it over, and there's like some drinks that people had put on our little pile, that clattered to the ground. I'm like, who's down here? What is this? And everybody below me starts to wake up.
Not sleeping. You're sleeping.
I was.
Oh no, it happened again.
you guys all
Did
have
anyone
some
see
nasty
Alable?
hangovers.
This is
Where's Troy? Did he die?
Oh god.
So where are we?
We're in. I have no idea where we are. I did not go out in this bar.
A tiki bar. That's where we are.
As Biren's used to, waking up after being knocked out in similar fashion across the globe, I go outside and check my bearings.
You have no idea where you are because you don't live here and you've only been here 3 days.
I kind of walk out after him, and I look to the left and the right. It's all just tiki bars. I'm like, we should probably find Troy.
Maybe
Which
we
way
Yeah.
where we go? Which direction?
visiting them.
It goes from left to right, so you go out and to the right to continue.
All right. We check the first bar. There's nothing in there. It's all put up.
Mhm.
I go check. He was at the second bar where he got
He was,
knocked out.
he was at the 7th and you were at the 4th.
Oh, we gotta get bars, man. Okay.
What
keep
time
going.
is it?
It's like 12, probably. Dude.
I use locate object to find Troy.
What object are you locating?
I'm gonna try and find his bow.
Stupid beard.
You should look for this dumbass napkin that he carries everywhere.
Ah, you're right.
Hey,
Yes, I looked for
resent
his
that.
napkin. That's,
You know
that's
that he
more
might-
perfect.
That napkin
might put
has
his
saved
bow
the
down.
world.
It
But
has.
he would never leave the napkin behind.
You are correct.
It had
I
saved the
looked for
world
the
like
napkin.
twice now.
It's
For
gonna end
two
up in
times world
museums.
savers.
Alright, you locate the napkin down and to the right. It's kind of like hovering around the same area. He's
Excuse
outside
me,
the bar.
it's an artifact containment device, okay?
You gotta patent it in ACD.
How are
So
we
did
gonna
I
pick him up?
did I find him, or is he
Yeah,
passed
you
out?
find him. I think he's just waking up with the for sale sign next to him.
Like
Gotcha.
barely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did he get sold into slavery? That has happened to me before. It's not a good time. Troy, do we need to go ask them for permission to save you?
Or stop screaming at me. Or just buy me. Just buy me, and then
We
I can come
could.
with you.
And Poofers runs into the bar.
There's some like people that I guess come clean the bar during the day when it's not open. Like cleaning the counters and some dishes and stuff. And they say, "Oh, welcome. We're not open yet."
Yeah, I'm inquiring within about the guy without.
Oh, of course. How much are you willing to pay?
I don't know. I don't think he's worth that much. He's not very smart. I'll give you. I like pass 10 gold to them.
Well, he is
Oh,
an
no.
outsider. Maybe so, like a collector would be more interested in him.
Okay, but I'm here now. Do you want my money or not? Because I'm just gonna take him.
Yeah, I'll take it. They take the 10 gold.
As she's doing this, I like stand up and throw the sign off to the side. Poofers, let's go.
Troy, and I run out. I'm like, Troy, I legally own you now.
That's
Look at me. Look at me.
unfortunate.
I'm the captain now.
I hear Captain, and I try covering up my fur. Like, no.
Property of Captain Bluebeard.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay.
All right.
Where
Are we
to,
ready
Master?
to get out of here?
Yeah.
Ready to go. I'm hungover as F. Let's just get on this train and book it out of here. I'll come back here though on vacation.
Hey guys, you know what they have on that train?
Drinks.
Hair of the dog.
Yep.
Or the dog.
Hair of the bird.
Dead people.
Feathers of the bird.
When in Rome.
Okay.
Please continue.
Actually, you're meant to see the Ken King once before you leave. Again,
Oh,
say farewell.
shoot.
Oh,
We
we're
probably
in-
should have before we got shit faced.
Yeah, we're in perfect condition for this.
Yes, you're all very hungover, but you make it over to the Ken Court, and he is there to basically just say farewell to you. And I can't remember the voice they used for him, so I'm gonna just try it. Well, it was great having you around it. Oh, I see that you went down to the bar crawler. Well,
How could you? Hell.
yeah. Well, we've all been there. It's a great fun, isn't it? Make sure maybe we should tone it down for the outsiders. I know that you're not quite as well trained as we are. But anyways, I hope you had a wonderful time, and I'm looking forward to opening the borders and discovering the culture of you mainlanders, opening trade and all of that. It should be jolly good. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I open the gates and you all bring ruin?
So funny.
Well, anyways,
Oh.
I think
Never.
that. Well, it was a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed your stay, and I believe the train is ready to take you down if you are ready to go. Welcome
Thank
back
you
anytime.
So much for your hospitality. This is an amazing place.
Do
It
we
sure
see
is.
the what's the name that we're supposed to protect here anywhere?
Giovanni.
No,
Yeah,
he-
I give him the old like I'm watching you kind of.
Okay. In that case, he's like in the room carrying some papers, and you see him like shudder a little bit. And then you can make your way over to the train, where Click-Clack, it welcomes you aboard the Kenku Express once again. And this time he promises you a far safer and hopefully less exciting trip back down the mountain.
Great.
Or to make your way to the social car. And it turns out he keeps his promise, as this trip is distinctly less murderous. Do you partake in the wine and fruit and pastry setup, or do you
Wine and pastry setup, absolutely.
It's fruit wine, so yeah.
Isn't all wine fruit wine?
And then I
it's
also
not grape wine.
I
put some in
definitely
my
There's barley
pocket
wine.
for later on the boat.
Beef. No. Okay. So several hours later, you're back down the mountain, and Click Clack as well as the Coup Crew are there to kind of see you off. Though it's very obvious that the Coup Crew is still sort of, they haven't really warmed up to you. At the docks, you're met again by Captain Roger, who charters you back to the mainland. And you see off in the distance, growing smaller and smaller, your beloved Kenku Island.
Goodbye.
So sad, I'm gonna miss that music. Okay. Once you make it back to Port Aria on the mainland, you retrieve your wagon and horses from where you had paid to store them and take care of them and set back out to Redcliffe. This is additionally a very uneventful journey. We are essentially fast traveling. But one thing that you do notice is that the road is notably devoid of travelers. It's pretty empty. So, to Redcliffe.
For Redcliffe.
Redcliffe!
There you go. You arrive back in Redcliffe to find everything is pretty normal. You know, when you get back, you stow your horses at the stables and wagon. I mean, no one comes down to see you or anything, but like you walk in and everything just looks like business as usual.
Well, that was kind of weird. There was nobody on the road, but this seems fine, right? Doesn't seem like anything ruinous has happened while we're gone, right?
I mean, it looks totally fine, right?
I told you guys I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah, but we didn't believe you.
Not for a second.
Should
All right.
we contact Harvey to set up an appointment with Victoria to talk about Giovanni? And get
Probably.
paid, obviously, because I need money.
And yeah, maybe not go straight to her.
Okay.
Although it's tempting.
Who's contacting Harvey?
I'll do it if nobody wants to do it.
Actually, Poofer's, maybe I should do this one.
Are you sure? I can do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
This is Beer and Colin Harvey.
A few moments pass, usually like a little bit longer than Harvey usually takes to respond, and you're answered by a female voice. And she says, "Oh, are you you call yourselves the Sultry Six, right? Yeah, hi, my name is Miranda, and I'm your temporary liaison/assistant. Harvey requested a leave of absence, so I'm here to help you out while he's gone."
What did you do with Harvey?
I got it, Poofers. What did you do with Harvey?
Okay, well, I thought we might get off on a better foot than this, but I mean, he's fine. He just took a bit of a vacation.
Oh, okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, Miranda. We're looking to set up a meeting with Victoria to talk about our recent mission.
Oh, of course. I will set something up for this afternoon. In the meantime, you all received a strangely large collection of letters that are waiting in I put them through the mail slot to your quarters. So you should go check that out. I hear that several of the shops have restocked. So you'll have a few hours and then you can talk with Victoria. Sound good?
I think that sounds good with us. Thank you, Miranda.
Sounds good to me.
Talk to you later. And she signs off. So do you want to shop or do you want to go back first?
I think we should go read our letters, and it's very
Let's go read our letters.
A leave of absence.
So for the sake of not sitting here in silence, will you all read things that I send to you? I'm going to read them out loud. The first is from Callie. Hey dorks! Thought I'd send a letter to ease your worried hearts. Fear not, for your beloved Callie is fine and well. I've yet to be kidnapped by the Imperium or murdered by those ever-present rampaging monsters. In fact, quite the opposite. At times I wish a rampaging monster would show up just so I'd have something to do besides sit in a lab and stare at formulas all day. I'll spare you the details, but progress on the Imperium's request is going smoothly. I've sent letters of my progress to them as well, which is what I suspect is keeping them satisfied enough to not come check in personally. Of course, I'm taking some extra time and precautions to make sure that they won't get exactly what they want. Still not entirely sure what they need the research on immortality for. I mean, obviously something evil, but it could be any of the classic tropes. Hard to say. Anyways, I don't have much else of an update. Please tell Neil that his paper on Norton's quasi-interplanar material transmutation theory was due 2 weeks ago, and I've yet to receive it. Or maybe I forgot to assign it. Either way, tell him it's due. Stay safe and find lots of riches on your adventures so that I may get rich off of you. Love, Callie. And I'm going to put these all in our context chats just so you can read them again later. Or not.
Well, she seems exactly like I'd expect in letter form.
I especially liked her salutation. Hi, dorks.
But, I mean, she's not wrong.
This one is addressed to Biren. Hopefully he does not remind me reading it out loud. This paper is littered with stains of what you can only assume is beer. That's what it smells like.
I know who it's from.
Biren. Long time no squawk. Ha? Get it? Anywho, remember that interesting thing in the desert I told you about? Well, apparently it's become of some use to the wardens. They've sent my team off and claimed that whatever we've discovered is of dire importance and a great secret. Well, if you ask me, knowledge is meant to be shared with everyone, but I wasn't really willing to fight them on it, and they offered to buy us drinks if we leave, so I guess it worked out in the end. I heard you're sort of allied with them now, so if you learn anything, do write me and quench the thirst of my curiosity. There's definitely some odd magic present, and the earth surrounding our research camp was demonstrating some questionable behaviors. Stay safe and fight on, my dude. Your friend, Hootie. P.S. I heard about some crazy ragers celebrating Biren. Was that your doing? Rock on.
I have not heard of this character before, and I love him.
Yep, that's Hootie. Hootie's in the southeastern area of the world. He is a professor.
This one is addressed to Poofers. Poofers. I'm on the trail of a promising lead. After many years, for the first time, I have what I am hesitant to call hope. Both my pride and Davan heritage have prevented me from seeking assistance prior, but my exhaustion has grown to combat these. Should you find yourself free and able, I would welcome the company on my hunt. This threat must be stopped, even at the sacrifice of all that I am and all that I believe. Those things were compromised long ago anyways. And this one is signed Karma, but that's crossed out, and it reads after that, Kane Marion.
Well, that sounds very important. It must be kind of a big deal because he does not like working with other people.
Okay.
Sounds like he needs some help.
There you go. Which one to do next? Okay, this one is not left. No, we're not gonna do that one last. Okay. This is the last letter. Brother and allies. This is from Kai. I apologize for departing in a time of dire need, but I fear for the state of our homeland. I have returned to Dahlia to survey the state of the city, and to put it bluntly, things are not well. The Crows have altogether abandoned their traditional duty of moderation between the classes, and have, under the command of our uncle, instead been instigating dissent among the population. Not just between the rich and poor, but between the ruling houses and among the working men. In the midst of the chaos, they have been looting, stealing, kidnapping. Not that these are particularly uncharacteristic crimes for what is a criminal organization, but we have never been so inelegant. The Crows may be murderers and thieves, but we still had a role in the stability of the city. There was a nobility and sophistication at the foundation of the Crows. Now they are nothing more than petty criminals that sow chaos, destruction, and pain. Most of the Crows remain loyal to our uncle, especially considering the newfound wealth and freedom under his command. However, there are those like us who do not approve of him and his schemes, which I have no doubt include the destruction of Dahlia altogether. I have been working secretly to unite these people into a force of resistance. I must continue my work here, stay safe, and I will call upon you when it is time to strike. I hope I can count on your assistance. Signed, Kai, leader of the Band of the Hawk.
This sounds important too.
Okay. That is the last letter to the group.
So we're gonna have to deal with that because if Dahlia falls pretty hard into chaos, I mean that's pretty prominent area, and if we start losing our grip and our control that we have on it, we're gonna have a lot of problems, and a lot of people are gonna die.
Yeah. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, one more thing, and then you can discuss freely among what you've seen. This is left specifically in Troy's room, on his desk. Troy, forget not that the mind is its own place. No, its own palace, an endless kingdom limited only by the bounds of imagination's reaches. And there may we make a heaven of any hell, but also the opposite, for hell can be made of any heaven. Even when one finds solitude the best society, he may be remiss to discover that he is not truly alone, and that the darkness of his shadow which follows him always, which is prisoner to his agency and his will, may have a voice after all. A shadow that grows darker and a voice that grows louder reminds its warden that darkness, once gazed upon, can never be lost, and innocence, once lost, can never be gained. One day that man of solitude may find himself a prisoner of his own shadow, and, driven mad by its ever-present whispers, decide that it is better to reign in hell than it is to serve in heaven, even one of his own making within his own kingdom. What happens when one flees from his shadow and severs that chain which binds them together? That darkness will search for a new host, a new home, a new heaven which can be made hell, and while the man of solitude makes a new heaven of a new hell, the warning of the shadow echoes through his heart always, and he knows it to be true that darkness, once gazed upon, can never be lost, and that it will find its way back. Signed, H.
So that seems pretty cryptic and quite important. I wish H knew my 9 intelligence was going to have a hard time wrapping my pea brain around all those.
We just walk in and Troy's like,
I'm like
face in this
drooling.
letter, like,
I just like hand it over to the first person who comes over to me, and I'm like, I don't really get it.
Guys, this said stuff and things.
This
What
said
does it mean?
stuff.
Excuse me, 13 intelligence coming through. It says here, Troy, that it was dark somewhere, and heaven
Here.
something?
I read Thieves' Cant. One sec. That's pretty much what this is, right?
Actually, it is not Thieves' Cant, but there is definitely several layers of meaning here. You don't know what they are because I'm not going to tell you, but
It's like an onion.
there is more than the
Or an ogre.
surface word.
Well, from what I can gain from this, I'm not entirely sure who H is. I have a guess. It's probably somebody who's on a bit of a vacation, and I have a feeling it's relating to. I told you guys a bit about my past, and I think I shared the file, the pretty redacted file that I had gotten about my father and about his mysterious disappearance when I was very, very young. I have a sneaking suspicion the man who's having the internal conflict here is my father, but it is extremely cryptic.
Wait, how would he have written you a letter? Isn't your...
No, I'm not saying he wrote me the letter, but I have entrusted a little bit into somebody whose name begins with H, and feel like it's all somehow interrelated until I can wrap my brain around this a little bit more.
You're gonna need a little more brain to get all the way around this.
H probably stands for home. And in that last paragraph, it was talking about a new home and a new heaven. This has to do with Pooh, your bear. That's what it is. We need to go get him.
And I'm the one lacking intelligence. I think H might be Harvey, but yeah, close.
Why wouldn't he just sign his whole name though?
Well, why is he mysteriously gone without telling us?
We have a mystery on our hands. It's up to us to investigate. We're real good at that.
I'm gonna have
Did you
to
do
read
it?
this a few
No?
more times.
Okay.
Was it me? Was it me this time?
I will tell you that, first of all, thank you, Paradise Lost, for some of the great quotes. But second, the This is meant to not be understood at first glance, if ever. It is meant to be invoking some mystery. So, yeah.
Don't worry, it will never be understood, so you're good there.
I think that is all of the updates that I had for you. So if you guys want to discuss any of the letters that you've received, now's the time to do so. Or you can go shopping.
Well,
really
quick.
To the shops!
Really quick on that letter, though, what I will say is it sounds like more and more there is something developing with, do you guys remember, and forgive me, DM, Dr. Pronounce it? Dr. T?
No relation to Mr. T.
Toledo?
What was that?
Dr.
Sorry.
What?
The doctor that you're associated with, right?
Yes.
Dr. Toledo.
Toledo, yes. That was the doctor that I think pretty much put the whole kibosh on whatever my father was working on, and probably had a lot to do with everything else that happened to him.
Didn't we meet
is my
Dr.
best
T
guess.
at some point?
So
Wasn't she involved with us?
Yes, which is why I opened up to you guys about what I thought was what you needed to know at the time. I forget how she came up in our last context.
So she is the head of research for the entire Warden organization, and she's located in Cethos. But she
head of magic research, right?
Head of all research.
All research, okay.
But she does specialize. I mean, magic is huge in that, right? She had directly contacted Troy while you guys were dealing with. I believe you were dealing with the Pawn of Opulence, and Troy had been gone or something. Anyways, he was off alone for some reason, and there was a correspondence where she sent him a kind of virtual message, and that was when she gave him some warnings, which she shared with you.
Yeah, to basically don't go diving into histories that she clearly doesn't want me to know about. I thought there was something else, but
you should have access to all. Like, if you ever want to go back, you should have access to all the documents.
Yeah. Was it? I thought it was Harvey or somebody else was mentioning that they were working on some pretty important stuff under her leadership. So
yes, several wardens have recently moved from the headquarters to go.
That's right. That's right. So something I feel that something big is going on under her, probably very close supervision. So we
don't really fully trust her then.
I don't fully trust. When I went looking for clues and answers into my father's, shrouded past and disappearance, I was pulled aside and basically threatened if I continue to do so.
Interesting. So it sounds like we have quite a few things to deal with here.
Well, so if I may, going down the letters. One, it sounds like Callie's doing okay. I totally forgot that the Imperium was after. 100% forgot that, since we were in a giant dark hole, and then we were in Birdland, and we were doing a whole bunch of other stuff. But that is something we're gonna have to put a pin in, because she's doing okay right now. So
yeah, check mark.
Yes. Any other thoughts you guys have on that Callie issue?
I miss her. She's great, isn't she?
Yeah.
She really talks way more than Tempe. I mean,
Tempest will have a tongue.
It does.
In all fairness, he can't.
It does look like it's actually written from her, the way it's out too, because it's always another thought that maybe like the Imperium made her write this or something like that. But it does look like it's very much a Callie letter.
I feel if we ever get a serious letter from Callie, we should panic.
Yeah. Any going to the next letter, unless you guys have anything else on the Callie one that you guys need to say or thoughts on it.
We need to tell Neil that his research on the transpimplebuckus thing is due.
Right. I assume Neil's already dialed and he's ready to go.
Poor Neil.
What about this letter you got, Bjorn? Anything like super critical?
Yeah. Longtime friend of mine seems to have sent out a research team out into the desert, and it's sounding like they may have found another artifact. Sounds like he was in communication with maybe Harvey or Victoria about it, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if things get complicated. We might have to go investigate.
Well, so do you think maybe we should, another line of succession of what we need to do here, within that, go talk to Victoria? Are we going to assume that they know and go talk to her about it? Or do you think, can we warden calm your friend? He's not a warden, right? He's just a...
No, he's a professor at the university
At
that
the
I don't
academy.
remember. The academy, yes.
Right.
The academy.
So, obviously that's something pretty important we need to deal with, right? Especially if it has to do with an artifact, but we're not... like you were saying, odd magics and crazy earth stuff surrounding our camp.
I hope they brought a napkin.
Yeah, right. And so since they don't have the artifact napkin, we might have to go do that.
Artifact
But do you want...
We're
We
the
might have to bring the
hazmat
napkin.
team.
Right. To the
You're the
scholars.
containment team and you just arrive with a fucking napkin.
Yeah, we
Hey.
kick open the door of our carriage and smoke rolls out. And
Like
shows
hazmat
us the
suits.
I'm
napkin.
pretty sure it's like a satin embroidered, embellished.
You bought
like,
it a
nap.
nice one, yeah.
I did, yeah. I upgraded
It's
it.
beautiful.
So should we talk to Harvey or Victoria about this? Do you think?
So
or no?
Harvey's not around, and what concerns me is I feel like he's tied to my letter and the fact that we couldn't get him on WardenCom. Because why would he, even if he was gone, why would he be off WardenCom?
Actually, wasn't it signed to H?
That's what
Wouldn't that be
yes.
potentially Harvey?
That's
Right.
what I was saying.
Well,
Yeah.
do you think maybe we should go talk to Victoria, who might have a good idea about both of these current situations?
If she's willing to tell
If
us.
if she's not, we're still gonna go. You
Yeah.
know, at some
Well,
point anyway. So it's
We
like
still, yeah, we
it's
still
like,
have
look,
to
you
tell
can
her.
tell us, and
We're just letting you know what
we're
we're
gonna
do.
we're gonna go. We're gonna go anyway. We're just being nice to tell you that we're gonna go. Anyway, so maybe that's in the line of succession is go speak to her. Unless you guys have another thought on how
I
to
think
deal
we
with
do have
that.
an appointment. I
We're
don't know how
waiting
much
for
more time we
Miranda.
have to kill.
This afternoon.
Miranda's supposed to tell
Right.
us when it's time.
So,
You'll
and then,
basically have to go after you read the letters and then you can show up tomorrow.
okay. And then, what about yours, Poofers?
Okay. If you guys remember, when we were back in the Thunderdome, I was looking for my buddy Karma, who is a Deva and doesn't like to work with people, but he told me that he's hunting some guy Pistachio, whose name I can't remember, but it's close to Pistachio.
It was just Senti.
Dang, close enough.
Same thing.
The guy has some crazy amount of power and he's a pretty evil dude. Maybe I get the vibe might be related to all the ruin stuff going on. Seems like a bad apple with a lot of, power to do stuff. And the fact that Karma's asking for help is a pretty big deal. He does not do that. He's a loner guy. I have tried to be his friend. I'm his best
Didn't he
friend,
stab
but he
you?
won't be my best friend. He did, but it was a light stabbing, and I
A
recovered
gentle
just
stabbing.
fine. And he
Right.
apologized for it, so it's
Right. Hey,
It was
I've
a love
apologized
stab.
multiple times, and I'm still the bad guy. Anyway, so with that, do you think if this person's super powerful and scary, do you think maybe one of the artifacts might be making him that way?
I don't have enough information to say so. It could be. I mean, the way that he described it, it was some super powerful guy, and I guess the most super powerful things we know of right now are the artifacts and gods, and I don't think he was a god, so.
Well,
I think he's an
Maybe.
artifact.
he's
I don't know.
hunting them, right? Per the letter, or hunting in the area.
That's
You
right. My memory has just come back to me. Giuseppe is an demon.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy. Not good to have one of those running around, frolicking through the people.
So, on that note, that's probably bad.
Yeah, it's probably pretty bad. We've got a bunch of bad things.
We got bad things. And speaking of, go ahead.
Speaking of bad things and gods, I tried to commune with Pelor, the sun god, the king of the god court, and I was blocked. Something is basically kind of keeping me from communicating with the king and queen of the god court, and not to their wishes. And at the end, before I came out of my trance, I heard a quiet, spine-chilling laugh. So I don't know if that is Lulth trying to use her power in the court to block me as punishment, or if something is going on the god's court that's not good. So just a heads up.
Well, that's the most troublesome thing we've heard thus far.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I thought we all had problems,
letter, but
that one just got really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we're gonna be on the god topic, not that all my mortal stuff going on in my town is bad, but my uncle is basically the god of death now. So,
God of crows.
Either way.
Yeah, we know the god of death.
Yeah,
He's
true.
a cool dude.
You know a god of death.
So-
He's known as the god of death, even though there are more, because he's the coolest one.
That's fair.
So,
He's pretty cool.
he's apparently from what Kai sent us, basically just letting everybody run crazy and allow just free range. Basically, the purge is happening in our town that we were normally controlling and not having a problem, just keeping it peacekeepers, if you will. That's basically what we were, peacekeepers. And I think if he gets to the point where we let that town and city die and implode, it's not only are tons of people going to die, but he's also just going to continue to get power. And the problem with that is if he doesn't continue to get power and gets the opposite and starts losing it and losing control, that's going to be an issue, because I mean, I know we were able to acquire some very, very nice Waterdeep badges, but it's going to be hard to convince that we're part of that clan now if they start taking over everything. Granted, it is no scary Lulf laugh,
Still pretty bad though.
but it's still not great.
So
Less
what do we
than
got?
ideal.
We got problems with the god. We got Archdemon. We got mysterious letter from maybe Harvey. We've got, massive god of the crows causing chaos in the surface world. Did anybody else have anything fun?
I don't know. The Harvey thing is still kind of bugging me, because I know that he definitely appreciated our group, and for him to disappear without saying anything, potentially maybe this letter, but this is the first of us learning of his disappearance. I do hope he's okay. He doesn't seem like one to just up and leave and not, I think that we're quickly becoming probably some of his, more close confidants here. And he was definitely a really good resource for us. So
Why don't, when we go talk to Victoria, instead of just dropping all these knowledge bombs on her, why don't we just, kind of nonchalantly ask, like, oh, so how's everybody doing?
So play
kind
dumb.
of thing. And
I would like to point out, please do not bring up the God Court and anything that I would know. I do not want the wardens to know that I am in direct contact with the gods.
yeah,
I can't see how they would find that interesting.
That's not a thing anybody is known to have.
Who was telling us to be wary of the wardens anyway? You guys remember that?
That was Troy.
That was me. Yes. Again, it goes back to. Glad you're paying attention, Magnus.
Sorry, I've been having a lot of burritos for like the last freaking 2 months.
The TLDR is little itsy bitsy Troy loses father somehow but unknown, and traces it back to his ties and fall from grace as a warden. And I'm so far have traced it back to this Dr. T from hencepoint forward, Dr. T, and I think more trouble's brewing that way. And remember, I got the little nastygram from her when you guys were messing with Time Town. So
right. So let's go. Let's go shop and get prepped for basically the coming death that is pretty standard for us, and maybe go talk to Victoria without dropping any of these knowledge bombs on her and see what she knows and will divulge as far as, hey, how's everything going? What's going on?
She's gonna be one to share things.
And if she doesn't, we can say we started hearing rumors about, like, we haven't seen Harvey in a while. What's going on with him? We're trying to talk to him. That kind of stuff. Or
she may slip a little bit, but I think she probably keeps things close to her chest. But yeah, let's try. I don't think we give her all of what we know, though. At least not yet. Anyone want to jump on the first ship back to Cancun Island? Just me?
Yeah, what if we just ignore this and just go to the Bird Island and try that bar hop again? What do you guys?
Just repeatedly every day try to see how far we can get.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see how that could lead to some kind of problem.
Well, I mean, the entire universe would eventually implode around us.
They wouldn't have the napkin to save them.
We'd be so plastered we wouldn't know what was happening anyway. So
we would go out with a bang.
Yeah, we'd be part of the bang.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go talk to Victoria.
It would get kind of lonely though, because it's just us and a bunch of birds.
They can talk. They're people.
But yeah,
well, I know. But if you're looking for a partner to spend part of your life with,
there are three very eligible bachelors here.
The bachelor birds.
On the note of bird communication, you were still in possession of those translation amulets, which you were told to return when you got back. So
100% did it.
Well, you haven't met with Victoria yet, but I'm just letting you know if you
hide those and not bring it up.
If you were told that they were the property of the king and that he wants them back. So, just consider that as a friendly DM'd player reminder that you probably don't want to get on the king's bad side.
But we got just so distracted by everything that happened, we just totally forgot about the translator.
They were accidentally maliciously destroyed. I don't know. We have no idea how that's happened.
Really, we were distracted by his guy. The ambassador was the king's dude, so it's
I'm
his
just glad
fault, really.
if we have these stones, I don't have to buck like a chicken anymore.
Buck.
Does not work. Okay, this is borderline racism because they are humanoids. They're not just normal birds, so they're not animals per se. Just letting you know, what
Duly
you're saying
noted.
may be misconstrued.
Well, when do we have to meet with Victoria? You said
You have to meet with Victoria after this conversation is finished.
okay, so we're not going shopping.
We'll go shopping tomorrow.
Okay. Well.
All right.
Let's go
to
see
Victoria?
the principal.
To Victoria!
Okay. To outside Victoria's office! So, meeting you at the entrance to the administrative chambers is, who you can only assume is Miranda. She's a short, blonde, half-elf who seems like she's very, her clothes are, well-trimmed and, everything. She seems very,
Hotness check.
Okay, go ahead.
4.
Oh,
That is the ugliest elf
sorry.
I've
half
ever
elf.
seen.
Well,
Okay, the human side's the ugly part.
yeah. Have you seen Troy? Just kidding.
Troy was like a 6 or 7. So
The entire group is pretty high, actually.
yeah, we're pretty alright.
Hence the
We're
sultry.
okay.
So you meet up with her, and she approaches you and says, "Hi, great to meet you. I'm Miranda. Are you ready for your appointment?"
Poofer just squints at her suspiciously.
Did I do something to upset you?
What did
I
you
mean-
do with Harvey?
No, that's
I've been
just Poofer.
just on vacation. I'm just a substitute.
You're squeaky toy.
Ignore that. The
I'm
cat
just
heard
a
the squeaky
substitute.
toy.
I haven't done anything to Harvey. I'm sorry that I'm not up to his standards. Are you ready to go?
It's okay, Miranda. We just really like Harvey. Yes, we're ready to go.
Yes,
Poofer's
she's-
just still giving her the stare down.
All right. Well, follow me, I guess. And she turns and leads you in and shows you to Victoria's office. She's at her desk doing paperwork as usual. The life of a tier 2 officer, I guess. And as you enter, she stands up and says, "Welcome back. How was your trip? I assume everything went all right. I hope."
It was eventful. Also very intoxicating.
Like,
It was
Amazing place.
the culture was attractive, or like a fresh
Yes,
breath
the
of air.
culture was
Yes, that.
fantastic, and we did run into some complications, but we did it entirely sober, entirely. And I look
Okay,
over
well,
at
the fact-
Poofer's. I'm sorry, what?
so.
The fact that you
I
have to
think-
specify that is a little concerning, but I mean, the ambassador arrived. Everything's okay.
He did arrive. And he's
We
alive.
he ended up trying to fake his own death and worked with the law enforcement there because he didn't want to be with the bird people. It was an
I know.
interesting trip.
Giovanni is terrified of bird people.
So everything
Also-
didn't go well.
Also, he's gonna be fine. We had a very nice, friendly conversation with him after said events, and he's gonna work very hard to have a great relationship with the feathered fowls.
All right, as long as everything turned out okay. Can you
So
just write up a
basically,
report?
he got there and he's under the assumption that we're gonna come kick his butt if he doesn't do his job. But yeah, he was trying to get out of it and prevent the mixing of cultures with the bird people.
We're gonna go with kicking his butt. That's what we'll just leave it at kicking his butt.
He was kind of trying to do the opposite of being an ambassador, but it seems to be working out right now.
Why is it that every time there's trouble, it's you 6?
But see, no, it was
Because you don't hire
Giovanni.
anyone else.
It was his fault. And we, the 6 of us, we made sure that he's doing his job and did everything the king asked for. And we kept him safe, and all is good.
We were the saintly 6.
All right, well, have your report on my desk before you depart again. Hopefully sooner rather than later, and let's just hope we don't have to do any sort of reconciliation with the king. All right. Any other news? And she looks through some papers and says, since you were related to this, do you recall the ruby that you had retrieved from the Underdark, which was related to one of the artifacts? The latter
Oh, yeah.
half of that has been located and reclaimed by another of our alpha teams. And the 2 items were reunited to form a ruby-encrusted blade, which is called Blood's Bane. It is, according to Dante, the artifact of violence and has dominion over those slain. So,
Oh,
had
lovely.
whoever you faced off again been in possession of the entire item, then it would have been a whole fun of undead mess. Well, let's just be
Noted.
glad that it's in our possession now. Apart from that, we are very close to the location of another artifact, and we should have a task for you in a few days.
Real quick, where are we holding that very dangerous artifact?
With the others,
Yeah,
I'm not at liberty to
Storage
say.
closet.
just making sure it's in a safe, secure location.
Oh, it is under the highest security possible.
Okay.
Like more than a lockpick security.
Yes. On top of that, Dante is in almost constant presence of the items as he is studying them and preparing them for use.
For use, you say?
All right. Well, that is everything on my side. As I said, we will have a task for you in a few days. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Pardon my asking, but where's Harvey?
Harvey. Harvey. Yes, he's your liaison. I think that he requested some time off, and she goes through some other papers and says, yes, here. He requested a couple months off, so he'll be gone for a little while.
Couple months? Is
That's
he
what it says.
usually one to take time off like that? He seemed very dedicated to the wardens and to his research.
I don't keep up too closely with non-field agents as I'm the emissary, but I mean, he is, as far as I know, an assistant researcher and a warden liaison, and I mean, he is welcome to take time off. He's purely expendable.
Are we getting a different liaison now?
Expendable.
Yes, whoever showed you here is going to be your current contact.
Okay.
Anything else you needed?
I was curious if you had heard back on any information from the team that was sent to my homeland.
Yes, the team that went out to Saharan. We've been having some problems getting in. Typically, border security, for lack of better words, is tight, but they will let wardens through, and we've had some problems nonetheless. I think that they've just gotten in recently and are currently investigating. I haven't gotten a full report back yet. Before I forget, of course, your reward for your last task. I also need those amulets back so I can ship them out to the king.
I hand mine over.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
I hand mine over.
I do too.
Poofer's reluctantly fishes it out of her pocket and hands it over.
There you go.
Magnus' hand is over.
Is there any way that we could get thingy-majiggers like that?
They're very expensive, but I suppose if you could find the right enchanter, he could craft one for you. They just don't belong to us.
We know an enchanter. He really likes us.
Especially me.
Anyways, your reward, and she drops a bag of 2,000 gold on the table. 2,000. Yeah, that was the right amount. Okay. If there's nothing else you need, I'm quite busy, so.
Sounds like we've just been dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Victoria. Please, I would be very appreciative if you let me know once you got in more information from Saharan.
Wait, side note, do we know what we're doing next? Did she give us any hints on that?
She did not tell you.
So we're just on call until something comes up.
She said she'd have something for you in a few days, so you have a couple days here, essentially.
Alrighty, well, thanks, Victoria. Take good care of my translating gem. I want it back.
I'm sorry, they are not ours to give. And you leave. It's pretty late, so you'll have to save any shopping you want to do for tomorrow. Head back to your rooms and get a good night's rest, and we'll take a break here.
Okay, guys. We'll be back soon.
Back soon.
Welcome back. So you guys just got a good night's rest back in your rooms. It is a bright new day. You're awaiting assignment. You have some shopping you could do. You can go, like, if you really wanted to, you could like go do a practice fight in the arena, or you could like. There's lots of stuff to do in Redcliffe. There's people to talk to. You're supposed to go bully Neil. At least Callie.
I would like to do something by myself, and then if there's a result, I'm gonna tell the group about it.
I would like.
Are you gonna fight Neil?
What would you like to do?
Yes, I'm going to challenge Neil to a fight to the death. No, I'm going to sit in my room and I'm going to pull out my mirror of the past, and I'm going to try and look in on Harvey's departure from Redcliffe.
Okay. So you can look into a creature. It doesn't say you can look into an event, but you can look into a creature's past, and that may or may not include recent events. So. Okay.
Harvey it is.
You look into the mirror and say Harvey's name, and you're alone in your room, right? Okay. You see a series of scenes that all together endure about 1 minute, so it's more like a montage of kind of like still frames that have that like slight movie like feel to it. The first, you see a redheaded child who is reading a book in a snowy cold as he's sitting outside a kind of like wooden cabin, and he's dressed in scrappy patchwork clothing. Through the window of the cabin, you can see the silhouette of a man drinking. The second scene.
Tragic backstory.
Of course. The second scene, you see the silhouette of a child watching a house burn down. The third scene, you see the same child clutching a book clutching a book in his hands. And standing across from him in the scene is a family that is, the parents are like leaning down and offering their hand out towards him. And so there's a mom and dad and 2 children. The fourth scene is a close-up of the child's hands, which are being wrapped in bandages by an adult. The fifth scene, you see the same family as before, now pointing away from them with an angry expression. As the child with burnt bandages on his hands runs off crying. And behind the parents, one of the children is kind of crouched over, like doubled over in pain, crying as well. The sixth scene, you see the child wandering around alone. The seventh, you see the back of a red-haired man in a black cloak and hat on a carriage, looking down at the child who still has the burnt bandages on his hands. The eighth scene, you see a slightly older version of this individual riding in the back of this carriage with the red-haired man driving it and newly bandaged hands. The ninth scene, you see this teenage version of the child looking at the gates of Redcliffe, holding a book in his wrapped hands, as well as the man in the carriage riding off into the distance. The 10th scene, you see Harvey in what you assume are the same trials that you faced earlier, and he is facing an enormous shadow of a demonic beast engulfed in flame. 11 is a sort of series of images as Harvey grows progressively older within the Warden community and is pretty much always studying. His hands are always wrapped around gloves. The 12th scene is him introducing himself to all of you. The 13th is him doing research at a library desk with a candle next to him, meaning it's deep.
To lo-fi beats.
Yes, it's deep into the depths of the night. The 14th, he is opening a letter and has a concerned look on his face. 15th, you see him dropping off a letter at a desk. And then the 16th, he is sitting on his bed with a packed bag next to him and looking through an open door at a silhouette of an armored person. And that's it. Okay.
All right, so in the morning after seeing this, we're going to round up the group. And I'm going to say, guys, I don't think Harvey left on a vacation. I looked into my handy-dandy mirror, and I saw Harvey packing his bags after reading a letter, and then some armored guy standing outside his door as Harvey was about to leave. That doesn't sound like a vacation escort to me. So, I don't know much more than that. I don't know what the letter said. I saw him dropping off a letter on a desk. Maybe it was your desk, Troy. I don't know. But he seemed to be leaving, not to Kenku Island.
I don't know any other person who may sign the letter H. The more I think about it, the more I think that letter is from Harvey. In fact, last I met with him, he seemed pretty deep in his work and study, whatever that was. Almost to the point where he was distracted and forgot that I was even there for a bit. There's definitely something going on behind the scenes with Harvey that we're not fully aware of.
I'm not too sure where to start. I guess we should go shopping and then figure it out.
All right, let's go shopping. I sent you guys the vendor list. The magic items have been updated, so you are welcome to browse through those. Where is our first stop?
I would like to go to, excuse me, the tailor.
Okay. Let me remind myself who the tailor is. Yeah. Okay. So the tailor's shop is called Don Corneo, run by Oliver Corneo and his assistant Trixie. Oh, one of my images isn't loading. How sad. Okay. So you're welcomed in. You remember that Oliver is a very snooty guy, and he was saving up to open a shop in a bigger city, and this was a temporary stop for him. And he says, "Oh, she's back. Probably the only person with taste in this godforsaken city."
Hello, Oliver. Thank you. It's always a pleasant visit with you. I'm actually here because I have this beautiful, very fancy dress I paid a ton of money for, but I just haven't had anywhere to wear it. And I just thought if I sold it to you, then maybe actually someone could wear this beautiful dress somewhere.
I do recall you buying this. And he says, traveler's clothes? Where could you have possibly gotten something that would be of interest to me?
I pull out the beautiful, very fancy dress.
Well, it is certainly more sophisticated than any of the other drivel you'd find around here. And he takes it in his hands and inspects it very closely and says, "I'll give you 100 gold for it."
I paid basically 4 times that amount.
4 times for this? Well, I do have to make a profit off of it, you know.
Wait, doesn't this guy have an assistant?
Yes.
Much more even-minded.
I telepathic message his assistant and ask her in reality what she would give me for it.
Smart.
She visibly sighs and replies to you, "We'll give you 300, but he's right, we do have to make a profit off of it."
And I message her back, 300 and it's done.
And she nods and replies, "Meet me out back."
Gotta do some
Do the
dirty.
deed.
Yeah.
And she rolls her eyes and walks outside around back.
I give Oliver some pleasantries and, toot his horn a little bit and then exit out back with the dress.
He loves being, he loves the praise to himself, so he leaves with a pretty positive impression of you. And she meets you out back and says, "I'm sorry you have to deal with him, but he truly, honestly, he is the best in the business, so, I'm happy to work under him, but he is fairly unreasonable a lot of the time."
Well, I'm just thankful that you're here to impart some reason.
Sure, so 300, and she opens her purse and pulls out a little bag of 300 gold. Says, "All right, well, maybe we can do something exciting with this."
Thank you for your help, and I hope you have a great day.
Pleasure doing business. See you around.
Oh, yes.
Okay, where's our next stop?
I don't need to shop unless we're planning on. Hey guys, do you think that we should? How much money does everybody have? Do we want to buy this time reset gem thing from the magic shop?
I think that would be a smart move.
Poover's pulls out her coin purse and pulls out some fluff and throws a bug behind, thinks better of it, goes, grabs the bug, eats it, and ruffles through a coin. She's like, I don't have a lot. I have 1,000.
I think we may be just a little bit out of range of getting the 12,000 gold piece.
Do we need to go on another quest?
What are you at, Barry?
Before this thing?
Well, we did spend 4,000 to visit the very fun Salamander.
Yeah, he was a blast.
Got an item from that. That's very important.
Oh, yeah, we
That's
did.
right.
We have the ultra magic-y thing.
And it was worth a lot too.
Leaf of pure magic essence.
Also, something that we have that we haven't really
It
discussed
is in my book.
that one question that we get as a group to ask Imbi's cosmic entity. And he'll give us the answer. We have not even thought about what to ask
It
him.
seems like
That's how we could have solved the murder on the Kenku Express.
we each have lots of questions for many different things at this point, so we might need to wait a little
Well,
longer.
I think it's fair of us to ask for something that matters to all of us as a group, you know?
I will
think-
say that this is a session that brings together a lot of information, so if you were going to start having a discussion about that, and it might be good to do it while it's fresh on your minds. But you can do it later too.
I think we just don't have any direction right now to really figure out what we want to ask. I mean, I guess we could ask what Harvey's up to, but maybe
Also,
we shouldn't
maybe
ask so early. We should try and figure it out
what
first.
Dante's planning to use the artifacts for?
That's actually a really good question because they're not going to tell us. But what happens if he is just a good guy and he's working with the wardens and he just wants to use the artifacts to stop the thing? You know what I mean? What happens if there's not much more to it and then we've wasted our one question?
You also remember that Avi had escaped her prison. Is another thing that's going on.
Would it may help if we find out what happened to Harvey. Maybe we can see if it's somehow warden related. I know that Troy's has some level of distrust for the wardens. Maybe we should try and kind of check things off the list of, is this okay to use on or not?
Right. I think we should try and figure out Harvey first, though. We shouldn't just jump to it and question. We should try and see if we can figure it out.
Because if it turns out that, we can clear the wardens, then it wouldn't be a good thing to use, this powerful question on.
So Poofers didn't tell us the whole imagery, right?
No, I told you guys the end of, basically where. So your characters wouldn't be aware of any of the
Right. Right, that's what I was asking. Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree. I as much as I want to know what happened to Harvey, and as much as I think that it may play a pretty critical role in things to come, I don't know that it's necessarily worth the use of this one question, where we could ask a more, divine level question that wouldn't be as discoverable.
How do we get lost to leave us alone?
Actually, a good one would be maybe how do we stop the coming ruin? Because if the way to stop the ruin is not through the artifact, then we're wasting
the
our
answer
time.
could also be get all the artifacts.
How do we even know how do we even know that this god is going to be available for this question right now? Apparently, we can't even talk to Paylor or anyone else. Oh, he's not a god. He's a watcher or whatever he is. Yeah, he's some kind of celestial being.
Yeah, he is the chronicler.
The chronicler. Duly noted.
Do you know what he does? He chronicles.
What were the what are the limitations of the question? It could just be any question. Does it have to be a yes or no? Does it?
It had
gonna be
to.
A cryptic answer, or are we getting a real answer?
I'd have to look up what I wrote specifically to give you a full answer, but the one restriction I do remember is that it has to be known by an entity.
If he doesn't know it, will he tell us? And then we have another question.
He knows everything.
Yeah, but what if he?
But his restriction was like the answer has to be known by a mortal. I think. I can look it up.
Would somebody like Dante count as a mortal?
Yeah, I would say when I say mortal, I mean it has to be known by a being lesser than him.
Okay. So
And the god would
basically,
be
like
lesser
a
than
non-god.
him or not?
You both talked.
Go ahead, Amanda.
I was just gonna say, is a god considered lesser than him, or
Vastly.
okay? So
Yes.
if a god knows, it's fair play.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true. Where is this question? It's on this document. Okay, maybe not. I'll find it eventually. Don't worry about it. I think it can't be about the future either. Like you can't say like it like the restrictions are basically it can't be like a cosmic answer that's gonna blow your puny human mind kind of deal.
Got it. Well, my vote is to, have
Maybe I
this
should not
relate
ask it.
to the ending of the world, which is important to not only us, but also all of people.
What you do know with regard to that is the artifacts are being collected in order to fight the ruins. So you know that you already know that the artifacts are related to that.
Well, would it be helpful for us to know in more detail what the ruin actually is, what the threat, what the driving factor of the ruin is?
I believe it was at one point explained to you.
Like a year ago.
Yeah. I think it's in this document.
Yeah.
You know what? After this session, I'm gonna compile a list of things that are going on and a list of things you know. How about that?
Okay. That would probably be helpful. Definitely something to think about. Did we ever go to the vendor, by the way? Because I did want to...
You haven't gone to the magic item shop
Okay,
yet.
because I looked at the magic shop and there was something I wanted to buy.
I just wanted to know if there's anything anyone wanted to do before we go there, because that's usually the most time-consuming one.
Does anyone need to go to, like, the leather Fletcher or whatever it's called? Or anything like that? Does anyone need
Take
potions?
me to the magic shop.
Oh, we do, but the potions are at the magic shop.
The potions are at the Elixirium, not the magic
Oh,
shop.
then yes, I
Yeah,
do need
because
some potions.
isn't the potion shop, that's, what's his face?
It's run by Neil right now.
Yeah, poor Neil. That guy has a lot of self-esteem problems.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you got him
We'll
some
find
self-help
out.
books. Okay, so to the
yeah.
potion shop then?
Yeah, the potion shop.
Okay.
I think Magnus had something.
Oh, did he?
I need to maybe go try to get some stuff enchanted, but potions. I need potions also.
Okay, potion shop. As per usual, Neil is manning the potion shop. And he's reading a book as you guys all enter, and he kind of is startled and closes the book and puts it underneath the desk and says, "Oh, welcome back. How can I help you all today?"
Was I fast enough to be able to see what book he was reading?
Roll a perception check.
Being curious, since we provided him with some. $16.
Yeah, sure. It was. You caught a glimpse of a wagon on the front.
Yes.
But you also saw a series of sticky notes sticking out of the book. It looks like you might have been taking notes on it.
For the people watching, we gave him a self-esteem book called, what was it? The little wagon that could.
The little wagon that could.
Yeah.
Taking
He's
notes
reading.
for his book report. Okay. Thank you.
Neil, your report on the Bumble Snout, Frosty, the Snowman, something is due to Callie.
What? I missed
Yeah,
the
2
assignment.
weeks ago.
What? Oh my god, she's gonna cut off my internship, and then I'm gonna lose all my funding at the academy, and then I'm never gonna be able to go back, and then I'm gonna die a homeless loser with no money. Oh my god.
That's a very real possibility, Neil.
Oh no.
I think so. I knew it. I'm a failure after all.
Poofers,
I'm just kidding, Neil.
You're gonna kill him.
But you should probably finish that assignment because
I didn't
Callie
even know
will
it
come
was
down.
assigned. Last time I missed an assignment, she made me write with my left hand for a year.
Bet you write beautifully with your left hand now.
Yeah, I got pretty good.
You are now ambidextrous.
Sometimes
Maybe you could write this report to her with your left hand and let her know that you
But then
already
she-
punished yourself.
she would know, because then she would just think it's like being petty and trying to like be snarky by using my left hand when she already punched me with the left hand. What if she makes me write with my feet?
Think how talented you'll be.
What do you guys need?
Potion!
Okay. More specifically?
Need the greater health pot. Just one
Alright.
for me.
How many can you hold at
3.
3?
Those are 175 gold each. So you can hold up to 3.
Poofers, it looks like on this list, which I'm assuming just looks like a big McDonald's like menu of potions.
Yeah.
I think that says right there, potion of comprehension. I think, you're missing your stone, but if you really needed to talk to someone, you could buy one of those.
Comprehension.
Or
Haven't even looked at this, and I'm going to look at the menu while you guys do your business.
potion of growth. Poofers.
Excuse me. Do you want to arm wrestle? Do we need to go over this? Like,
Oh, not strength. Strength. I'm talking growth. I want to see giant poofers again.
why do I need to be taller? What will you get out of that?
Joy.
I'm perfect as I am. I am a strong, independent tabaxi.
That don't need no man to backseat.
Yes.
I'll take a greater healing potion, please.
Okay.
175, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
This might be a waste of gold, but I'm going to buy an oil of slipperiness.
Ooh, yes. I don't know if that's going to be able to cover you, though.
That will never be a waste.
Because it can only cover a medium or small.
No, Bjorn I think counts as medium.
I'm at the very tippity top of medium build.
Perfect.
To be honest, I wasn't planning on using it on myself.
Poofers! Slippery cat!
Ooh, can you use it twice on a small if it covers a medium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it says because it covers a medium or smaller creature, so no, you just get one. You get one dose.
What if you just apply it to paws?
It would be
I'm not
awesome.
gonna go into fractions of potions. I'm sorry.
If you just dip paws in it.
What if you just take a whiff? You get like 1/3 of the potency.
I need a potion of poison, please.
Okay. You can grab one for 450 gold.
Ooh. Mm. Hey,
And then
try to talk him down. He doesn't have the highest self-esteem. In fact, he might even buy one for you.
The potions these prices are discounted for you already, just so you know, but you
But
can
it's
try
Neil.
and talk him down further. Erebir did last time successfully, and then everyone told her not to do it because it was mean.
Well, he was gonna pay for it out of his own money. That's when we bought him self-help books.
You know, Barry, I don't need to talk to anybody, but I actually think that this potion of comprehension might be useful for us at some point. So I'm gonna buy one of those. 100 goldaroonies.
Okay, big spenders today. impressed.
I love that item oil of slipperiness. It's so funny.
When... Oh, never mind.
I just like imagine in my head like Poofer's covered in like Vaseline.
Ew.
Like trying to catch her. Someone trying
Like
to
a
catch
little
her.
greased pig.
That sounds about right.
Or like, if you throw like a oiled up watermelon into a pool, nobody can hold on to it. Yeah.
God. Alright, you guys done at the potion shop?
I am.
Yep, I'm good.
Alright, then we'll go to the magic shop, I suppose.
Thanks, Neil. You should do your homework before
Yeah.
Callie rains her wrath down upon you.
He's like already pulled out a notebook and is writing, just like with his left hand, like at the speed of light.
Hopefully he knows what that assignment was, because I do not remember the word.
There's no way of knowing. Okay. So the magic item shop is run by your good friend Gil, and he welcomes you in as usual and says, my favorite customers, welcome back. I have new magical tattooing today if you're interested.
Actually, I quite possibly am.
Oh. How
But
exciting.
I have a question for
What's your question?
the DM.
What's
So
your
I know it
question?
has to be attuned, and I have Racers of Defense attuned, and then I have a Ring of Disguise and a Ring of Truth Telling attuned. If I get the tattoo, can I basically just wear one ring at a time and then switch them out?
It takes a short rest, I think, or a long rest. It takes some kind of rest to attune and unattune. So,
Okay.
yeah, and effectively you can only have one equipped at a time, but it takes time to attune.
Okay.
Coffee Man's in chat, and he says it is a short rest.
Thank you, Coffee Man.
Thank you, Coffee Man.
Thank you, Coffee Man.
Always helpful.
I knew it was one of them. I'm almost as good at DM as Coffee Man is.
Alright.
Would that
You
be
guys
the
are
same
getting
even if
tattooed?
you had like one tattoo and one item attuned? You could only use.
So, I homebrewed the rules for this. The tattoos are permanent, but they count as a half attunement, so you can have 2 tattoos for the price of 1 attunement slot.
Ooh.
But if you have an item that you are attuned to as well, how does that?
You
can
get
skip-
3 attunements.
Yeah.
So you can
And
go
you
up
can-
to 2 items and either 1 or 2 tattoos.
That can all be used simultaneously.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, your bow is attuned to you. It's magic.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if I were to get a tattoo, and I have my bow, they both would work during a combat encounter. At the
Yes.
same time.
As long
Okay.
as you don't have more than 3 items.
Right. Got it. Okay.
All right. Are we making purchases today?
I'm gonna get a Godstone.
Okay.
And then probably hit up my good friend Alibal to see if he can give me a
Your
blessing.
own god. Okay.
What? Why would I hit
And
up?
boy,
No.
Why do I have to go like, oh, I better go on a quest for another god? I mean, like, I've
Or-
already kind of like besmirched Alibal multiple times by accident. It's kind of like, I better go hit up the homie, you know?
I know I insulted you, but can I have more of your power?
Poofers.
Yeah, please.
You could get a Godstone and hit up Doppio.
But what would his power be?
It
Have
would
you
be
thought
He
awesome.
turns
through.
pink and white.
I wonder what if I could get Pelor and
There is only one, so fight over it.
I want the circlet of human perfection.
All right. You may purchase that. It is an attuned item.
Worth it.
It is only 500 gold. For anyone who doesn't know, it transforms its attuned wearer into an attractive human.
How often can I do that? Like, if I so I attune it, I don't actually have to have it on though, right?
You have to have it on.
So if I attune to it, it's on me 24/7 until
You
I take it
don't
off.
have to have it equipped, I don't think, while it's on you, but you have to have it on for the effect to persist.
Right.
You have to have
so
it with you.
If
It has to be on your head
equip
for
it?
the effect to be.
Right. So can I equip it, take it off, and then put it back on
Yeah.
as many times as I want? Like it's
Yeah.
not like a timed thing.
Yes. That's what I figured.
Well, Aravir,
Yes, Barry.
do you want the tattoo? You know how it is when you get one, you always want to get another. It really depends if you're committed.
And for the record, the tattoo, you have resistance to necrotic damage, and once per day, if you're reduced to 0 hit points, you can drop to 1.
Which would be
I would
very
be
nice for my low HP.
I'd
Cleric.
be interested in that one
Barry,
too.
do you want to get matching tattoos with me?
I only have enough ink for the 1.
Oh, what a
Oh,
buzzkill.
That was not the case last time.
That was the case last time, indeed.
I think
Barry,
it was the case last
if
time.
we were to, one
Can we
to
go
like
halvesies
a
on the tattoo?
number, how strong of a life forceness do you think you have?
If you were going to
If you were
die, do
gonna-
you think you have the will to pull yourself back from the grave?
No, I mean like if I would say like life wise, I would
Uh-huh.
put myself at like a 58.
Right.
Where would you put
right.
yourself?
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. You know,
On a scale of
I
1 to
think
100.
overall it's probably all the drinking that I've done. Don't drink, kids. I'm more like a 43.
Ooh. Well, in that case, and since you already have one and I'm a little scared of needles, if you would like to get it, I wouldn't stop you.
You just reminded me how much I didn't like it last time.
What does your current tattoo do for you again?
It's the ghost step tattoo. Basically, I turn into a ghost
yeah.
form, and I have resistance to physical damage. So
Tattoos
if I
have some pretty good
yeah,
attributes then.
yeah. So if I
It
get,
seems like a powerful thing, but are all tattoos pretty powerful? Like on the same?
I mean, these two have. I mean,
Some
now
are
now
more
that we
powerful.
mentioned that, the DM's gonna have some really corny one the next time.
No. This
That's what poofers will get.
This is a pre-built list of tattoos. They're actual items in the game, and I randomly select which one will appear each week.
This is a very helpful one. I almost feel like it should be going to somebody who could do something with 1 HP left. Like a magic user who might be able to jump up and then
Heal.
get a dimension
Fair.
door out of there or something.
Barry can do that.
Or res or heal if
Or
we're
like
all
a person that probably fights close quarters and also has magic and can dimension door out.
or,
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, I mean,
like a
if
shot
I
glass
go
user.
down,
Like, I
I go
want
down,
it.
I can't do anything anymore.
Guys, don't fight over me.
I want it, but there's nothing I'd be able to do. Like it'd be great, but then I wouldn't.
You'd stand
I-
there bleeding out your eye holes.
and then I'd
Nothing to
die on the next turn. Yeah, so just a
do.
thought.
This is pain. And then you
So,
just
Magnus, are you looking to get this as well?
I mean, I could definitely use a tattoo.
Well, I think the Phoenix would probably look much better on Barry or Magnus than it would on me.
Magnus, can you heal people now with your newfound powers?
I can
I know you can misty step
I can-
now.
I can definitely not heal people, but I can port to them instantly and drop a healing potion down their throat.
Well, yeah, but I can do that. But the other guys
You can port to
cast
people
big old
instantly.
magic to heal us all.
Yeah, I can't do that. But I could be totally fine and then go invisible and then not have to worry about anything else.
I'll let you guys, hash this out. But my vote's for Barry on this one.
There it is.
That was very easy.
Okay.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for the next one.
If you don't want to do it, I will do it.
Hey, Ervir, do you have any of that wine from the island?
Oh yeah, and I pull out a bottle,
Oh,
then
okay.
I cork it and hand it to Barry.
All right, let's do it. And I.
Wonderful! Oh, my favorite client back. Should we go do it in the sour note again, or do you want more privacy this time?
Just take me back to the same table.
Oh, great. I think that they left it there in, like, memory of the entertainment.
Barry, if you're getting the tattoo, can I get the Godstone?
Go for it.
Yay.
Ooh. Barry, if you want, I also have some really nice magenta-looking paint. It's not the potion.
Okay.
It's actually magenta paint.
Magenta.
I got it from the Nightmare Realm.
Poofer.
Oh my god, that's
Poofer's,
lead
like,
paint
jumps
that
up
is
and
not
down,
safe to inject.
grabbing for it.
It's magical Nightmare Realm-y paint.
Oh.
It's lead paint.
Pooper's eyes go wide and she continues to grab for it.
No.
I think I'm good. I don't need nightmares.
Okay.
Thank you, Magnus.
Also, if you can't take it, and I like slowly open, my leather jacket. I'm like, I also have some vials of heroin that we still had. I close that.
I look around like, I don't know, maybe.
He already
It's
did
not high.
mega drugs in the
Yeah, I did that really
Right?
gnarly drug. What was it called? I don't even remember.
Lyrium.
Yeah. Ugh. Wait, did someone say that? No. Okay.
Okay, make your way back down to the sour note, and Lemon Drop, who's the main owner there, he's like, "Oh, you're back! Let's do this again, I see!" And she sets everything up, and she sends one of the workers to like go tell the town, like, "He's back! He's doing it again!" And your table is set up by the A where you left it in the bar, in the wall. And Gil prepares everything and sets everything up. How drunk do you get?
Should we leave it to the Constitution save?
Yeah.
right.
Also, I sent an image in context of what the tattoo will look like. Where do you?
Okay, yeah, I want to see that first. Please don't be like some unicorn or something.
Oh, it's a phoenix. I think it looks cool.
All right, yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, it's Phoenix. All right, we'll put that on the other shoulder. The
Okay.
ship is on my right shoulder, so we'll put it on the left.
All right. So he begins by shaving that arm. Poofers is on the floor gathering up all the hair, I assume.
This will be wonderful for my next appearance. This is
Aw.
Captain Bluebeard.
Well, I guess it's better that way that you take it. My con save was a 5.
So you take a very, very large swig down like half the bottle of the fruit wine, and instantly just thud, you're like out on the table. He's like, "Well, I guess this makes it easy." And when you wake up, your arm is sore and you've got a new tattoo there. Crowds are dispersing. Everyone else who was present, there was like a full-on like party around this, and everyone was like expecting to see you like cry out in pain, but they were also very
Whoa.
entertained by the fact that you passed out. So.
Wait, it already happened? Oh. Damn, that Bird Island wine is good.
Yeah, it sure is. And that's where we are. Any other shopping we want to do or anything?
That coup juice.
I'd like to see if we can maybe find somebody that would be able to open this box. That is almost impossible to open. Who would we go talk to?
Do you have the name of it?
I have in my notes a box that is almost impossible to open.
That is inconvenient for me. I'll go look it up.
Wasn't it like a DC 25? It was something crazy.
Yeah.
It was very, very large. I think I remember what it is, but I wanted to be fair and look it up. But I don't have the name, so whatever. I'll just stick with what I think it is. So it was a box that was immune to magical openings. And you would have to find someone like a master lockpicker.
Hey.
Or something who could be able to open this. I'm not sure you know
There's
of anyone.
somebody in Redcliff.
I mean, we have all the wardens here.
Yeah, I mean, you could ask around. Troy might know someone. Depending on how closely he read my last message.
Not on the 9 int.
I don't believe anyone else would know someone dexterous in Redcliffe.
So, all the way back from like a year and a half ago, I have a key that I can use once a day, and and I need to hit a nat 20, and it can open any lock.
We should be trying that every day.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Also, what happens again? We get damaged, right? If it doesn't open?
Yes.
How much damage was it?
I don't know. I can't find the item, so I'll make it up.
It was really bad, though.
Also,
I think
it was
high.
almost kill you damage.
looking in this mirror of like the past every day
Actually,
for different people.
I just realized I just got a tattoo that instead of going to 0, I go to 1. I am the perfect bomb diffuser.
Yes.
Oh,
Just once, though.
my. Just once a day. But
Just
we
once
are
a day.
only trying it once a day. So,
Okay,
Shit.
let's.
Okay.
All right, everybody
so
back
Barry,
to work.
we're going to send you out into the middle of like a field outside of Redcliffe. Please
Okay.
don't start any wildfires.
So
Oh
you-
my gosh.
Yeah, I'm down in
Insert
that
the key
cabbage
into the
patch in the
box.
bottom area of the map.
That's where they get
Oh,
their
the
food.
poor farmers.
You understand what this tattoo means that you have now. Like, you can
You won't die.
skydive
Yeah.
into whatever you want. I mean, so many
Oh, hold on.
possibilities.
If you break
he
your
takes-
body
Oh
bad
my
enough, okay. First of all, he can still instantly die.
Yeah, if he takes double.
If he
The
breaks his body, if he jumped off a mountain and dropped to 0 HP and
Don't ruin
somehow
my God
wasn't
complex
instantly
right
dead,
now.
his body would be so broken that the moment he went up to 1, he would go back down to 0.
I'm immortal.
Coffee said Biren is now Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, pretty much. All right, I'm gonna roll this. I'll
Okay.
roll it a little bit away from the cabbage patch.
Okay.
So you're essentially trying the key, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
It did not work. I rolled an 11. I was going for a nat 20.
I mean, it can, it's probably going to take us somewhere around 20 sessions, right? So it's going to average.
You took 41 damage as it sprayed you in the face with poison.
Oh, really? 41?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't drop below 0, so the tattoo didn't go into effect. Now we know it's poison, guys.
At least
Barry, you
one of
don't
the
look so
things.
good.
Yeah. I'll be okay. Am I poisoned, by the way?
Yeah, but poison just gives you disadvantage on stuff. So
Okay.
unless you're gonna do something within the next minute.
Nah. Well,
Okay.
that was worth a try, I guess.
Wait a second. We could go back to that potion
Wait.
shop.
Grab what?
I don't know.
Making the annoying guy do it.
Some sleight of handy potion.
We're all looking through this list.
No, I'm looking at the inventory. Hold on. Oil of etherealness.
I just watched Barry get sprayed in the face with poison, and I kind of pull Magnus aside and I said, there may be somebody else here who may be decently skilled in these types of endeavors. I only have a first name for you, but it's one of the top recon agents in the Wardens, and you may check with somebody named Cecilia.
Cecilia? All right. I have a lot of questions that
But be on guard.
well, she's part of the Wardens, right?
Yes.
I mean, I guess we are too. So, okay. Be on guard. Makes sense. Cecilia. Common spelling?
Yeah, common spelling. Cecilia.
Which I wouldn't know how to spell anyway, so sure.
Got it. Selia.
All right.
Cecilia. Where would I find her?
She's a warden, so check. I mean, maybe warden call or ask other wardens.
Copy.
I haven't really met her yet, but I think she attended one of my archery classes a while back.
There we go. Oh.
You are just telling this to Magnus, right?
Yeah, I kind of pulled him aside.
Okay. All right. Poofers is jumping around, yelling about needing to go back to the potion shop. Potion of animal friendship, which she wishes all of you to take so that you can be her best friend.
Okay.
I mean,
But you guys have to buy them because I'm poor.
Oh no.
Poofers, don't we have friendship bracelets?
Oh, yes, we do. But this would it's like taking a love potion. It's commitment, Barry.
Okay. Is there any other shopping you guys want to do? You good?
I want to kind of pull the group aside and say, just to gauge everybody, do we all kind of feel the same about this Chronomancer's pocket watch? Is this something we want to get relatively soon, or are we just gonna
I would
keep
like to get it soon.
spending our money on this and that and not progress to? Because maybe we shouldn't buy something each week and aim for that, because it is 12,000 gold. So but I do think it would come in super handy.
For reference, the Chronomancer's pocket watch reverses time by 6 seconds for the user. Or for everyone, but only the user remembers. And that can be used every 2 days or something like that.
So we got 6 of us. Does everybody have 2,000 to drop down?
No,
I do.
I'm at 900 now.
But that's what I'm saying. We keep buying things each week, so.
Well, to be fair, I only bought restocks of potions. That's it.
No, I'm not calling anyone specifically out. I'm just saying collectively, if it's something we want to move towards. I'm just trying to see if everybody is on board with it or not.
Sure.
If everybody cares.
I just got myself some new ink, but moving forward, yeah, we can try for it.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I can do it now if when everybody's there. So
I also have the ability to put in 2,000 for it once we're all at that point.
Okay.
Actually,
assume-
is that 6 including Tempe then?
The companions will not give you money towards a group item.
Okay, so
Sorry.
it's more like
So 5.
He also
5.
doesn't have that much money, and I think he's saving for a better enchantment to his violin. So
okay.
I think maybe on downtime I might go check out an enchanter.
You mean Shine Bright, who loves us?
he does love you.
Well, all of us besides Troy. Oh, I
he
don't think he really
he
likes
loves-
you either.
He loves me the most. We're practically best friends.
All right. Any other tasks you want to do while you're in town? You have a lot of friends here that you can check in on, or we can go to where you want to get your task.
We don't have to roleplay this out, but I would like to slip away from the group and go to a specific shrine in the
Excellent.
cathedral.
I was hoping you would do this.
I would like to follow her
If you're trying to get away,
Discreetly.
sneakily.
stealth
Yeah,
versus
if
passive
Poofer's-
perception.
Yeah, if Poofers is sneakily going off, I'm curious what she's up to as well.
So
My
I'm
passive
following her
perception is
sneaky.
14.
No,
so
I need your stealth. I need their passive perception, which Aravir's.
my
is-
stealth. Let's.
We're all like, well,
Well, I
that
mean,
was
11.
I have 18 passive perception.
Yeah, Baron's is the problem, isn't it? Oh, she got 19. All right, Poopers, you sneak away and go over to the cathedral gardens where there are the number of shrines dedicated to a number of gods, including your little handmade pink shrine, which you've placed under a tree. The only open slot that you could find that was suitable for the size of it. You make your way over there. It's in the afternoon, nearing sunset probably, and you see a kid that is sitting in front, kneeling sitting on his knees in front of the shrine, just kind of like his hands on his knees, like really intently staring at it.
I'd like to go up and just kind of plop down right next to him.
As you take a step forward, you suddenly notice that there is a young girl next to you. And as you're going to take a step towards the boy, she says, she's got like straight black hair that's like cut really short and bangs, and she's dressed in kind of like some robes. And she says, it's a really great honor for gods to have shrines made for them.
I mean, you want to make a shrine for a god that you like, right?
Sure, but it doesn't have quite the same meaning for mortals as it does for gods. You see, gods exist based on the beliefs and wishes of mortals, so when a shrine is dedicated to them, it is a token of appreciation for fulfilling their very purpose. When a god is gifted a shrine or an offering, it's sort of everything that they were meant to do with their existence.
Pretty cool, because, that guy, he's pretty, he's tried to kill us a couple times, but overall, he's pretty alright.
Yeah, he can be. I suppose once in a while he really does get on one's nerves, though.
You know him, too?
Unfortunately, we are well acquainted.
Well, he's been in a bind lately because we keep killing all of his followers as they try to kill us, but I think deep down inside, he's just looking for a friend, and I would really like to be that friend and for him to have more friends.
Yes, it's been very hard to put food on the table because of that. But I think it's also taught him some lessons, and yeah. What do you actually know of him?
Well, you see, not a whole lot. He likes the color pink. He's tried to kill, as I said, us a few times. Seems like he needs some followers, and that's about the extent of what I know. He likes to trick people. That's a good one.
Well, let's just hope that first impressions aren't everything then.
Wait, what do you know about him? You got some chatter.
She looks at him, at the kid, and sighs and says, "Let's talk somewhere else, maybe." And she says, "Let's go for a walk," and you two turn and start walking away, I assume. And she says, he is a very indecisive, self-conscious, and altogether at war with himself kind of person. Let me ask you a question. What if you were destined to do something you hated?
Well, geez, I'd say screw that and just go do something else.
But what if your entire life depended on fulfilling this destiny?
Would it hurt other people?
It might.
I don't know. If I didn't want to do it and it had the potential to hurt other people, I'd probably just not do it and see what happened.
Well, a lot of people, when faced with that sort of question, aren't as brave as you are, and the thought of loss, of disappearance, of death even, is petrifying, and they will do whatever it takes to avoid that. So when faced with that sort of destiny, they act irrationally or irresponsibly. And I believe that's the best way to describe his case.
Well, then it's kind of my job to make friends with him and hopefully let him know that he does have a choice, right? So,
and I guess
I'm doing the right thing. Woohoo, go me.
I think it is the shrine that you left that was instrumental in that sort of decision.
Well, I hope I get to talk to him soon. Maybe I can ask him about that kind of thing. I write him letters sometimes, and I think that he gets them because occasionally he responds.
Yeah, he framed some of them.
Did he? Wait, who are you?
This is mom.
Yeah.
It's his mom.
You can call me Nora, but
Doppy mom.
Nice.
I am the best word for it is his ally, I suppose.
That's good. Okay, so you're my friend too. You're Nora. And if I want to talk to you again, can I find you at the shrine?
I can't go far from where he goes, but if he's around, perhaps.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Well, Nora, thank you for talking with me. I'm glad that Doppio likes my letters. I'll keep writing them. I'm glad that he likes my shrine, and I hope that, you know, he sees that he can control his own destiny.
And she gives a kind of somber nod, and she literally dissolves into light, and disappears before your eyes. So,
Well, I would like to kind of jog back to the shrine and see if the boy is there.
he's gone.
Well, and I'd like to go sit in front of the shrine and stay there for 10 minutes or so. Just thinking about our time together, time that he tried to burn us in a wall of fire, that time he tried to sink a ship with the plague of frogs, and
Threw Magnus down a well.
yeah, and I'd like to just say I hope to talk to you soon and go back to the group.
Okay. Poofers returns. You've noticed her absence, but you don't know when she slipped off.
Poofers, where have you been?
Oh, nothing. I was just, just going to the church to sit in front of Doppio's shrine and say hi to him.
Oh, Poofers. Next time you go, let me know. I would like to go visit Saloon's shrine. I haven't been there in a while.
Oh, yeah, you can come with me next time. We can both sit at Doppio's shrine. I just didn't want you guys to feel like you had to. You know, there's this kind of people that are like, oh, you should come with me. Let's do this. I don't want to be one of those people.
How about this? If you come with me to Saloon's, I will go with you to Doppio's.
Sounds good. It's a plan.
Great.
Hey, so I had a thought.
Thought.
Can we? So we tried. It's left field, by the way. We already tried to talk to Harvey via Warden Com. He didn't answer.
You got redirected more accurately.
Right. I want to Warden Com Kai.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
We have tried. He was out of reach, but you can try again.
Yeah, maybe it'll work with
Right.
Magnus.
Do you remember where you were when you reached out to him? I don't think he was out of reach. I think he just didn't answer.
I think we were in Redcliffe. I think this is where we were like, where's Kai? And you were like, I don't know. And then we tried
Yeah, I think he didn't answer. I don't think he was out of reach.
Yeah, go for it, Magnus.
All right. I'm gonna Warden Com Kai.
Okay.
Hey, Kai. Where you at?
Magnus, is that you? It's been
Yeah.
so long. I've heard you've been horrifically ill.
There's been some sketchy food. Be really careful.
Are you alright?
Kinda.
If you need an organ transplant, I'm pretty sure we're a match.
Noted. I really appreciate it. You're missing enough limbs, though. I don't want to take anything else.
I've totally forgot about that.
So, what? So we just read your letter. What's going on?
Pretty much everything in the letter. We're more or less building a resistance force against our uncle. He's basically trying to incite a massive war in the city so he can reap the benefits of it and take complete control.
Do you have a large resistance built up yet, or no?
We've just started recently. Our numbers are small, and honestly, I don't think they'll ever get large enough to face him directly. We'll need to find other sources of assistance. If you have any sort of organization that you can ask for help, I'm sure the Wardens will send someone, but not enough. And probably too late.
Have you seen him around? Is he as powerful as we think?
He keeps to the underground, and as you know, someone who defected, I can't get in, but The man I have inside is reported that he keeps to himself, is obsessed with self-preservation and controlling things from behind the scenes. From what I know, he's getting less calculated and more ambitious. It seems like he's really got a mastery of this manipulative design, though.
Do all the families still hold power, or has it fallen apart?
Everything is still in place for now, but it's definitely becoming more unstable week by week. The houses are warring not just with the peasants who are starting to rise up, but with each other, and it's going to be basically an all versus all slaughter.
Okay. Is there, other than instant help, is there anything else that we can do or support?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if you come across any sort of funding, any items, equipment will help. Anyone that you come across who might be willing to lend a hand. The fall of Dahlia will affect more than just Vicentia. It will affect the entire continent.
Okay. I know some people from traveling earlier, and it's gonna be weird. I'll reach out and see what we can do.
Stay safe.
Better. Did everybody hear this or no?
Unless you went off by yourself, they would have heard it.
Okay.
It was on speakerphone.
Yeah.
They're
Making
always
sure we're on speakerphone.
That's one of the weaknesses of the item, is it's always out loud. It's just in your own language. So.
Okay. So I kind of have a thought about this. And here's my thought. If it's really as bad as what he's saying, and I do trust what he says, if we are going to need a whole bunch of help, we could talk to Poofer's owner. And
I was thinking actually,
slide
because he
into
knows people in the Thunderdome, so he might actually be able to get the Thunderdome people involved.
Right,
too.
and we have some
the
pretty
owner.
we know the owner, and we have some pretty powerful allies there.
Yep.
And I have chalk to draw a door to get us
That
there.
could get us
One
back.
One time.
And I'm
but
sure
that
we could
chalk
acquire
could
more.
also help us to get in contact with the Death God.
Right.
Maybe we should talk to Waterdeep Man first and see if he can get us in there.
I'm sure we can maybe acquire more chalk when we get in there somehow. But that might be something where he might have to go down. The last thing I want is for Waterdeep to be controlling my own city, or be able to control my crows. But if it means saving everybody else, we might not have a choice on this one. Like the enemy of my enemy kind of thing. So, I don't know. Mull it around. I'm going to think about it a little more. But that might be something we might have to do, is go back to the Thunderdome, make some money, and get some allies.
Alright, since Magnus brought this up so
good
well,
thought.
This is the start of Magnus's quest, which is going to last a long time. The more allies you are able to gain to help you in his quest, the better it will go.
I see, so we have to go collect allies.
This is not a, hey, let's go do Magnus's quest right now. This is we have to prepare for Magnus's quest.
So this is we're continuously doing the beginning of Magnus's quest, because our step one of his quest is gain a buttload of allies.
Yep.
So if that's the case, then maybe we should also involve the wardens.
There is a time limit on it. It's not like right now, but like you can't do the quest whenever you want. It will come up when it's time, if that makes sense.
Well, so I mean, if we want to get into this and talk about this now, or if we want to think about it for next session, but if we're gonna bring the wardens in, there's gonna be I want to head this up, and I know we have a lot of discussions, and usually certain people in the group get to do what they want. But
Excuse me?
I'm taking.
Who?
We always go
taking,
left, by the way.
I'm taking the final say on this one, on a lot of this kind of
that's
stuff.
fair. This is your, this is the thing that you've been working on. So
Well,
I'm
the trouble
willing
with
to
that,
try and stay quiet.
I wouldn't be so worried about poofers. I'd be more worried about like folks like Victoria. If you want to have the ultimate say, Magnus,
Right.
how
That's
are you
what
going
I'm
to
saying.
handle? How would you handle some tier 2, tier 1 type folks trying to make the calls?
I'm very sneaky.
Mm.
But it's just all how we're going to bring it up to them and how we're going to involve people. But again, obviously this is going to be something I'm going to have to think out, and we're all going to have to think out, not just myself, on how to bring this up and how we're going to get allies. But the one thing I do think is, although our wardens are strong, and the wardens have a whole bunch of other stuff that we have to take care of, right? With the impending ruin, which kind of a huge deal. All the artifacts, everything else going on. So there's only so many hands that can lend.
Did we mention that we also know Umbra?
Right.
Remember the guy that led us into Tartarus?
The Underdark.
Yeah.
He would probably also
So-
know a lot of people.
That paladin that was down there too.
It's probably
Good-
bad for
good name.
business if the underground is controlled entirely by a rogue brigade of crows.
Real quick
I don't
though,
think
you
any of us
understand
like.
it's going to be one of those. This whole idea is not to wipe out the crows. There's a delicate balance that we're going to do here, and so we need to have an extremely strong force, but we need to be able to maintain back control, because I'm not getting rid of my people and my heritage of where I came from. So we're going to need very strong allies, but people that not necessarily that we can trust, but people
Maybe that we can pay.
we're going to be able to control, if you will. So like the Waterdeep is going to be a interesting thing, but the wardens are going to be able to throw out a few hands and stuff like that, because they just want to maintain peace, right? And if it was mostly peaceful before, we could probably go back to status quo with them. But when it comes to a lot of the epic fighters that we had in the Thunderdome and all these different people, it's great to handpick champions, but we still need numbers, So I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things I'm gonna have to think about.
Well, why don't we go find out what our next assignment is? We can kind of go from there.
Who were the people? I'm sorry, when we helped them with that large.
Those were the Deva,
Atlas,
and those
yeah.
I don't. Just based on their backstory, they're more like threats of nature and not so much of man.
You think we can do
kinda deal.
help out your Deva friend, and in return?
He's not acting as a Deva. He's kind of breaking from their usual and acting on his own, so he's kind of an outlier. I mean, we could try them. I'm just letting you guys know.
I'm just thinking of groups that we have encountered and possibly helped in
Right.
The bugbears!
Oh my God, I forgot.
My God. We do need to go talk to.
Yes.
Aren't we their king or something?
No,
you are.
No, you gave the chief title to Rory.
That's right, Rory,
we
who
are
did
epic
nothing.
friends.
He regards you as honorary bugbears and close allies.
Yes.
This is gonna be like in Star Wars, where there's all the weird cacophony of ships going to
It's
go.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be. All
gonna-
right. I like this
so
quest
long
concept.
ago, we had a quest where we competed with a bunch of bugbears and against each other, and basically, we lost intentionally-ish. We did real bad, and so the bugbears won the whole thing.
Yeah, it was for the title of chieftain.
We figured a bugbear should be chieftain of the bugbears.
But we also just did really bad.
Now,
Last
Speak
part
for
was
yourself,
staged.
Poofers.
a little thought too, just throwing things out there, is we are going to have to stop my uncle, who, as you guys heard, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but I think I might get to actually use, finally, this really cool magenta potion that I have.
That would be very poetic if that's how you kill your uncle.
That
Because you've been wanting to use that on a big bad guy for so long. I can't think of a better one.
would probably
But-
be the right use of that potion.
So, just so we're clear, I would rather him lose his power than to kill him. But if I have to get to that point, then I do.
Then you're gonna magenta potion.
Right. Shrapnel. So, anyway. Think about it. I gotta think about it. It sounds like Kai wasn't making it up, and it is bad. And all the stuff happening there is bad. And he is not gaining enough support. Probably out of, well, one, fear, but two, out of, out of just free will with, all these new people that decided to get into the crows, which is just embarrassing. So,
Okay.
All right. Sounds
All
like
right.
we need to round up some friends.
Shall we go see Victoria and find out our mission?
That's a good call.
Okay. So it's pretty late. You'll have to wait till the next morning to go see her, which is good because that's how long she needed. You schedule another appointment with Victoria and go to visit her. She welcomes you into her office as per usual and says, "All right, so I have an option for your next task. Whichever of the two you choose not to take, another Alpha team is arriving back here this afternoon, so they will take the other one. You just get first pick. First, another artifact has been located in the vicinity of some of the uncharted deserts in Arsenfell. I'm not quite sure what awaits you out there, as no one's really explored it, but we do know it's rough, dangerous, and very hot. And who knows what kind of creatures lurk out there in the sands. Because of the harsh environment, we don't know the exact nature or precise location of the artifact, but we do know its direction and believe you could find it fairly quickly should you go searching for it. On the other hand, the tensions in the dwarven city of Orzammar have reached an all-time high, and the problems there have begun to compromise the defense against the hellholes that exist deep within the deep roads. With the oncoming approach of the ruin, it's no doubt that these hellholes will get stronger, so this is something that needs to be resolved sooner rather than later. There's some sort of political upheaval between the two brothers that are candidate to the throne. One advocates for the preservation of tradition and the other seeks more progressive change. Which of these two sounds more suited to your talents?
Since Tempy's with us, we can all communicate telepathically.
He is not with you right now, and he actually will tonight be informing you that he cannot accompany you on the next mission.
Oh.
So are we out of people that could join us then? Because Kai's gone,
Yep.
Callie's gone, Tempy's gone.
So we're gonna be the fearsome 5?
Yep.
So I say wait. I say we go help the dwarfs.
I telepathic message Barry and say, "Isn't your friend Hootie in the desert?"
That's right. More than likely, we would get help from Hootie and some archaeologists in the desert.
So I telepathic message one by one.
You're welcome.
Poofers and Troy and Magnus, and let them know that Barry's friend Hootie is in the desert, and I think that we should go there.
You guys can just step out of her office and say you need to talk.
Let's go talk.
Yeah, we do that huddle thing and we walk away as a huddle.
So
instead of just standing there all silent and weird.
So
I mean, she knows. Like, if you're standing there silent, she knows. So.
My full circle. If we can help solve these dwarf problems, again, talking about making allies, we could probably use them.
That's very true. We also, we've run into a couple people. I know that there's something real funky going on down there. And the dwarves are known for their riches. Just saying.
True. I do like riches, and they do have gems, and I do like those. But they are ugly. So do we want ugly people on our side?
Also,
weren't there two, like the
blacksmiths
banging?
Oh, were they?
Like both got tens.
Yeah, they're like
gosh.
twin siblings or whatever.
I think I was like infatuated with them for a minute there.
Yeah, you were.
Also, if it's really that bad, Magnus, you could hand them your little handsome human head dress thing.
You can make them feel beautiful.
That's my handsome human headdress.
Okay.
The other thing to consider, and I don't think it's a deal breaker, but do we really want to go underground into the dark again?
Ooh, I had no problem with it.
I heard that it's not as dark there, though. It's not quite as deep as the Underdark.
Think of all the shiny gems.
My connection with the saloon right now is very temperamental, and it all started when I went underground. So I'm somewhat
On the other
scared
hand,
to go
if
back
it's already
underground.
broken,
It's not broken, it's just temperamental.
It's not broken.
Here's my thought
fine.
though. Playing devil's advocate, if we go to the desert where Barry's nerd friends are, they might be able to assist us with different ways to basically to help us stop a god. So they were probably educated and well versed in that.
do you know who else we know from the desert?
Who?
Yosi. There are tabaxi in the desert, and they are small and cute like me and Yosi.
There's desert cats?
I'm not surprised.
There are all sorts of creatures in the desert. Who knows what you may find?
Oh god. I've heard tales.
Should we take a vote?
Tales of terrible
Yeah, I think we
crawly
should
worms
vote.
underground.
I feel like that's a fair.
For the desert. Anyone else vote for the desert?
I'm so on the fence.
I'm so on the fence. I will say this. Getting the artifacts is probably an important task. At the same time, getting allies and helping the dwarves, not only that, but it seems like there's some large issues with migration that may have something to do with the issues with the dwarves.
And didn't they say like the hells are coming through or something, right? That's what they said?
So to remind you, it goes dwarf in terms of depth, Dwarven City, Underdark, and then the deep roads, which go basically so deep that there have been breaks in the rift between the hells and the material plane there, and so there are portals to.
Wait, is this like a flat Earth? Do they not just come out the other side at some point?
No, it's round. It's just like is a layer. And the dwarves have a kind of like historical responsibility to defend against any spawn of the hellholes, and because of the tensions that are happening, the political tensions, that's not happening anymore.
Well, I like shiny gems, money, and allies.
It would be nice to see Hootie.
I feel like we are better at getting artifacts than we are at political unrest and being underground. Just gonna throw that out there.
That is true.
But if we don't go back there, that could be one group of powerful allies. We aren't going to be able to go back, really.
We might be able to.
The group.
Yosi is actually very magically powerful. So, on the other hand, we might find an ally in the people that we meet in the desert.
That's true.
And dwarves don't really like to come up.
That's very
That's
true.
a good point.
So I don't know if they're gonna be willing, even if they're an ally, to come up to help.
Dwarves believe that opening, or at least their traditional belief is that if you go to the surface, you're no longer a dwarf.
Ooh. Well, that's
I don't really think they're gonna
damn. That's kind of a deal breaker,
de-dwarf
actually.
to help
Well,
that.
That's the traditional
they
belief,
say-
but one of the political advocates is moving towards some progressive things, but you don't know what those progressive things are.
All right, so it basically comes down to you're rolling the dice to go to the dwarves, if they can even help us. And in the desert, we might find people that could help us.
How do you
So-
feel, Troy?
Personally, I would like to pursue the dwarven side, and I think that the implications of them not fulfilling their duty to block whatever hell that may escape is important. But also, like Baron said, the artifact route might be the most pressing thing. So
There is another team that will do whatever you don't. So those
Oh,
get
well, that's
done.
good news.
okay.
So
Well, in that case,
maybe we
honestly,
shouldn't trust the artifact to the other team and get the allies for Magnus.
well, didn't we just say the dwarves would not be allies because they wouldn't come up? Possibly?
You don't know. There's a potential to meet all sorts of creatures in the desert. There's a potential that depending on how things go with the dwarves, they may or may not open. There's really no way of
we have to be
certainty for either
polite.
side.
Oof.
Why don't we leave it to fate? Roll the die.
Also, we could probably go talk to the King about this since
Talk to
Ooh,
who?
we did help Ken King out and like
They
Ooh, I wonder
allies.
if they would be allies.
they might be
Like-
pacifists, but if a crime organization were to suddenly take over their cities, that wouldn't be good for them.
Are you talking about intentionally setting up a city overthrow, Poofer?
There's
I'm just
other
saying, if
there's
it gets
other
big
sorts
enough.
of support that they could offer too, though. Like
Right.
Yeah,
could
like they
fund
could offer
things.
technology support and
That's
stuff.
true. That's true.
I mean, we need weapons. We need
Well,
supplies.
maybe
we're gonna
maybe
need-
We
Ma-
need trains.
magical music,
Right.
magical music items.
birds. We could take.
Just
Oh my
throw
god, we
birds
could
at
have
your
air
uncle.
support.
they can't fly.
Spies.
Dang
Coffee
it.
had a good point. They could be spies.
True. No one would see him coming.
You guys see all the birds here lately? Yeah, what's that about?
They're like massive
just kidding.
3-foot birds
Hey.
in like
No, they can disguise themselves. You actually, for fun fact, because you're never gonna go back there, you've already met a Kenku before you went to Kenku Island.
There was a Kenku working in was it Exeter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for a dice roll. Let fate decide.
I mean, if there's another team doing whatever we don't, then really,
Well, you know what? Actually, even with all this, if we're gonna probably find, because we don't know a whole bunch of Arsenfell in the desert, right? That's what you told us. So there could be a whole group of people there that are
It would be good to get rid of the
different.
what do you call it in a map, like a fog of war, so that we understand what else is out there.
Right. I don't know.
Do we just want to roll dice? I'm fine with that because I'm on the fence.
Someone
guys
rolling.
there's equal pros and cons to each side.
Yeah,
think
I
I
think
think
so Erebir is the only one who really wants
The-
one over the other.
The one thing
Well-
I'm leaning more towards helping the dwarves out, mainly kind of out of greed, but also out of it could.
Well, you speak
could-
the language.
Well, it makes us. What if we could afford that pocket watch, the time thing after that?
Gems, you say?
I feel like that is a very important item moving forward. Think about the implications of rewinding by 6 seconds. I
Right.
mean, that's huge in any type of scenario. So I think like the sooner one of us has that, the better. And maybe if we help the dwarves, we get a bit more monetary reward out of it. But is it like irresponsible of us to ignore an artifact. I guess there's another team going.
Like you said, another group's going to do whatever we don't do.
And not that I normally care about money, but it's more that pocket watch that I care about.
I mean, we probably would get we're probably going to get the same reward whichever one we do as far as the wardens, but I do think going down to the Dwarf Village we could acquire some more, like kind of like Troy was saying there, gems or more monetary value to be able to get those items and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know the people out there in the desert or anything like that, and it sounds like nobody really knows. It'll be hot. There's going to be evil sandworms because it's a desert.
And tobacco.
The DM immediately grins.
And there will be tabaxis though. There's not going to be dwarf tabaxis.
I can't not include a sandworm. Like,
I mean,
And if those little tabaxi can survive out there, it can't be that bad, right?
that's actually a good point. If you were able to find something like a tabaxi tribe, they are very resilient creatures.
Or maybe Tuscan Raiders.
oh gosh. Do you think you could convince the tabaxis to come fight for us?
I mean, if they're... First of all, we know Nyosi, and I know Nyosi's from there, so we already have an in.
Are you going to be able to convince them that it's important to them to come fight for us?
Of course, Nyosi's my best friend. I have a lot of best friends.
Thanks for the follow, Green Cat. See you later.
I'm actually kind of leaning towards the desert. Although I like gems and shininess, I'm kind of leaning toward desert just because if we decide, the two rises of power, the new progressive, new hotness is actually an a-hole, and the old guy is like the smart, responsible person, we have to go with them, and then it doesn't matter if we got allies or not because they're not leaving. But the new hotness might not even want to allow them to leave too, right? So it's like not even a 50-50 chance. It's like a 50-50 chance if we get the new hotness, but then it's also a 50-50 chance if they even want them to go.
You
right?
might also not meet people in the desert too. You don't know.
True. Well, we're going to meet researchers no matter what, because it sounds like
probably meet them.
So they'll at least be able to point us in a direction to help us, right? But the dwarves are known for manufacturing tools and strong weapons and stuff like that I bet we could do as well. I don't know. I call the D20.
Alright, so
All
we're
right.
gonna roll a D20.
Do it.
Alright.
High will be desert. Low will be... So 1 through 10 is dwarves. 11 through 20 is desert.
Can I roll it?
Roll as a hotness check.
Yes, you can.
Oh, hotness?
So high is desert?
Well, we can do hotness. We can do 1 through 5.
Yeah.
1 through 5?
1 through 5 is the dwarves, and 6 through 10 is the desert.
Alright, let's
Alright.
do this. And an 8.
Get
We're
it? Because they're
going to the
hot.
desert.
It's like a hot desert.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the fates have decided.
Neat. Oh. Okay. That sounds good to me. Let me move some things around and we'll go on. So you go back in.
We'll go back in and so we've discussed it in length and
Well, yeah. In length is... yes. In length. Have you made your decision?
we have. And we're going to the desert.
Get your sunglasses, everybody, because we're going to the desert.
Alright,
We
well
also-
luckily...
Sorry, go ahead.
Luckily, it's still in the cool season, so you shouldn't need too much protective clothing or anything. Do you have any other concerns or questions? I don't have too much information on the quest.
Yeah, we would love to get informed about anything that you know of the area. I know it's not well traveled, but whatever you do know, we would like to know, as well as maybe a contact or somebody that we're supposed to meet up with, or things and or creatures that we might run into. And are there any wardens over there?
There is a small encampment on the border of Arsenfell. maybe like 20 wardens or something are stationed there, so you do have an outpost for contact. If you can make your way there, I will give them detailed directions on, or rather they will have the directions on where to go from there, because they're the ones who've located it. They're not a retrieval or combat team, they're a recon team, so they can't go get it themselves. But should you reach the outpost, they will be more than capable of directing you correctly.
You said they're a recon team. Do you have any idea? Do you know if Cersei's out there?
Cecilia?
Also that?
Close enough. We're bad with.
No, she's out on a different mission right now. There's been some interesting cases of illness over in the city of Dis, so she and others are doing some investigation.
We dealt with some illnesses the other time, right?
Yes, I suppose
Yeah,
you did.
and then we had a party.
Yes, I recall.
Oh my gosh, it's like
People
exactly
still
what
talk
happened
about
with COVID. Everybody was dying and still going out to bars and drinking.
Right?
It's like real life.
All right. If no one has anything else to say, we can move on.
Yeah.
I'm intentionally keeping Hootie kind of on the DL.
Okay,
Just
that's
so you
good.
know. Yeah.
So you are set out to leave in a couple of days. So you have a couple days of rest and preparation, some time to do downtime stuff if you want retroactively. As always, anything that you learn about the oncoming time cannot be used in retroactive downtime. So just keep that in mind. All right, so one more thing to do before we call it a night. Let me just get myself ready.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. The next few days spent in Redcliffe are markedly peaceful. For the first time in a while, everything seems fine. Wardens are still arriving from and departing to their assigned tasks. Business throughout town is continuing as usual, albeit a little quietly. There's no sudden arrival of Kobars or giant festivals or tournaments. Life just seems normal. But this normalcy is itself oddly uncomfortable. You all can't fight off this feeling of impending doom, as if you're enjoying the calm before a storm. And, well, that feeling couldn't have been more correct. It had started as a peaceful night. You had gone down to the Sour Note for some drinks and games and returned to your rooms fairly early to enjoy some warm mead by the fire. Shortly after, one by one, you each called it a night and went to your room to sleep. What had started as a restful slumber was suddenly and painfully interrupted. No, perhaps the better word is torn. Ripped, shredded, broken, well, regardless of your preferred term, you found yourselves sitting upright, awake in bed, looking out the window at the dark night sky. There were the stars, twinkly specks of light in a black ocean. There was the moon, hanging over you like a queen surveying her kingdom. And there was the tear, a great gash across the empty space that was the sky, its veiny red edges reaching out like gripping fingers suspending in vacant air, its gaping mouth forming a black void in the middle of reality, devoid of any stars or moon or light or hope. To describe the appearance of the tear as an arrival is not quite accurate, but to say it was formed is not correct either. I think it is best described as a return, one that was accompanied by the disturbance that had awoken you, which was not sound, it wasn't light, it was not some great event that drew attention, it was simply a feeling of pure mortal dread. You knew it all along, you knew the history, you knew the prophecies, and you saw the signs. You never had any real doubt, but perhaps you had hope. That all of that logic and evidence was still somehow wrong. But this feeling that had roused you from your dreams, this dread that inspired a fear, a hopelessness that even the most hopeful of you struggled to shed, that simply couldn't be denied. You rushed outside, still in your pajamas, and found the other wardens of Redcliffe doing the same. You all gathered in the square and stared up at the tear, which had so subtly, so elegantly announced its presence. You saw Victoria and Darian descend from the castle and join the crowd, casting worried glances at one another. The concerned chatter of the people grew more panicked. The fear in the air was palpable, and while there was no discernible change in its state, many said that the tear seemed to relish this. It's begun, a deep, proud voice declared, hushing the crowd with its power and authority. At the steps of the castle you saw him, and it was clear from the weight of his presence, which combated even that of the terror that watched over you, who he was. You hadn't met him yet, nor even seen him, but you knew. Grigor Nestori, Warden Commander and the leader of humanity's last hope, stepped forward. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ruin. And that's where we're leaving off for tonight. Thanks everyone for playing. Thanks
but we're
for
gonna
watching.
go make friends at the desert, right?
I think the vacation's called off.
I don't think we're going to the desert or anywhere now.
Peepers.
Well, guys, I guess that's it. We'll be back next Sunday at 7. Hopefully we'll be there. Thanks for following. We'll see you next time.